If you're looking for exclusive content, please don't look any further than joining the Trap Talk Patreon family. Some of the best reptile keepers in this industry are part of the Trap Talk Patreon family. As soon as you join the Patreon family, you connect to a Discord. You can also tap into an Instagram group chat, connect with some of the most diverse keepers we have in the reptile hobby today. Shout out to my Patreon members and be ready for Trap Fest 2026. It's going to be one of the biggest events yet. Find all information again in the very first link in the description below. And again, thank you so much to all my fellow Patreon members out there. Cheers. Trap Talk Reptile Network, the coolest reptile network in the world. Welcome to episode 790. Got the boys on tonight, man. We got Bob Vu, Will Moroz, and Steven Leviathan tapping in with us. Everything, anything, SERE. We're going to be chopping it up about the boys podcast that they recently released this year. I think they're killing it, man. There's a lot to discuss, so you guys are in for a treat. But if this is your first time listening in, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Select all. If you do that, you'll be reminded every episode released out of the network 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday. You get a brand new episode right here. I'm not going to lie. I got a little bit of things in the works with the schedule. Might be releasing some new segments. So be ready. If you want to get insight or, have the heads up of what's happening here with the network, the best thing to do is come join the Trap Talk Patreon family. You can simply do that by clicking the very first link in the description below. One of the benefits of joining the Patreon family is also getting your hands on episodes like this episodes before it gets released to the public, because I no longer go live on Thursdays anymore. Everything's pre-recorded, and about a week or two after it's recorded, it gets released. So if you don't want to have to wait, if you want to be the first ones to listen to these episodes, come join the Trap Talk Patreon family, because the Patreon family gets first dibs on everything, okay? So just want to say thank you so much to all my Patreon members. Without your guys' support, wouldn't be able to do what I do, and it really means a lot. So thank you guys so much to all my Patreon members. Before we get started, let's get to sponsors, man. Shout out to Zoomed, the #1 reptile brand in the industry, just shy of 50 years. Make sure you get your next reptile product at zoomed.com. You can find all the links to the latest Zoomed products in the description below. Definitely follow them on Instagram and follow them on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you so much, Zoomed and the entire Zoomed team. Also, this episode is brought to you by Phenome Genetics. A lot of things happening with Phenome Genetics. Really excited to be working with Phenome. Again, big breaking things happening in the hobby because of Phenome. One of them that I'm most excited for is clearly the green tree python sex shed testing. You can now turn in the very first shed of a chondro and determine if it's male or female, which is so game changing. But we got skinks, we got ball pythons, we got colubrids in the future, boas, man, they're going to be doing it all. So guys, head over to Phenome Genetics on Instagram. Make sure you go follow them, and also go to their YouTube channel, Phenome Genetics on YouTube, and subscribe, and be ready for that Phenome Genetics segment happening here on the Trap Talk Reptile Network to keep you guys fully updated what's happening with the Phenome team. So Phenome team, thank you so much for sponsoring the network. Really happy to be working with you guys, and the future is bright. Thank you so much, Phenome Genetics. Also, this episode is brought to you by Mark Bailey over at Mark Bailey Reptiles. Hands down, Mark Bailey has been one of the biggest influences in the ball python community. His work speaks for itself. 40 plus years full-time keeper. One of my mentors. Just one of my best friends, man. Nobody has been there as much as Mark Bailey has, and I'm forever grateful. Not to mention, he's one of my main sponsors for going on 5 years now. So thank you so much, Mark Bailey over at Mark Bailey Reptiles. Please head over to his Morph Market, Mark Bailey Reptiles on Morph Market, or just click into the link in the description below. You can follow all of Mark's work on Morph Market's platform. Okay, so again, that's Mark Bailey Reptiles on Morph Market. Make sure if you're looking to get into the high-end ball python game, or just want to get something to get started, Mark Bailey is your man, dude. In my opinion, nobody does it better in the ball python game than Mark Bailey Reptiles, and I really mean that. So thank you so much, Mark Bailey over at Mark Bailey Reptiles. Also, this episode is brought to you by Clutch, the #1 ball python organization app in the game. If you're just now coming into ball pythons, or you've been in ball pythons, you need a little bit of help with organization, don't look any further. Clutch is here for you. Go to Clutch's link in the description below. You could try them free for 30 days, but I'm telling you right now, all the big hitters, all the up-and-comers are using Clutch, man. It's the way to stay organized. It's the way to stay cutting edge, the way to look fresh, okay? So thank you so much, Clutch, and the entire Clutch team. Really excited to be working with you guys. Another year in the books with working with Clutch. So thank you so much, Clutch, for everything that you do. Last but not least, shout out to Morph Market and Morph Market shipping. Make sure you get your next reptile at morphmarket.com. You can feel safe purchasing reptiles through some of the best breeders we have in this hobby. Morph Market does not play around when it comes to that, so you're protected. And you can simply go to Morph Market for all your shipping needs, shipping supplies, shipping labels at the cheapest cost. No other shipping reptile company compares to cost when it comes to Morph Market shipping. They have stellar customer service. They reply to you instantly. So thank you so much to the entire Morph Market shipping team. Keep doing what you're doing, man. It's a force to be reckoned with. And shout out to Morph Market. Okay. All right, guys, listen, really excited to have Bob, Will, and Steve, because as a lot of you guys know in the ball python game, they came out with a podcast earlier this year, really honing down on industry talk. I feel like it's been one of the biggest growths so far in the reptile podcasting space. I feel like it's been really needed, especially of the era of the wannabes and the pretenders who were coming out with podcasts for a while. All that is over with, thank God, man. You can just see these guys just dipping out left and right. I'm not gonna lie, I love it. Okay, save some room for the real dogs. So we're gonna get to it. All right, we're gonna be talking to Bob, Will, and Steven of Leviathan. So hope you guys are ready. This is gonna be a banger episode. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do to get your mind right, and do what you gotta do to stay hydrated. This is episode 790. SERE, Calm Before the Storm. Let's go. Cheers.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes,
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crowd, God love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
All right, guys, episode 790. I got the SERE crew in the background and Calm Before the Storm, man. This is gonna be a great episode. But welcome back, Bob, Will, and Steven. What's up, boys? How you guys doing?
What's going on, man?
What's up?
What's up, man?
How you guys living?
Tired, busy, but good. Good.
Feels like we were just together. Oh, we were last week.
Yeah. Today.
Well, I'm sure you guys are together a lot nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be here Saturday, yeah?
Yeah. It's no secret at this point, man. One of the biggest things to enter the reptile podcasting space have been your guys' podcast. I've been a huge fan of it. It's been very refreshing just to hear a casual conversation that's all related to the reptile industry, all knowledge, man. But I kind of want to go around the horn. I want to get your guys' feelings on it. I mean, you guys are kind of new to this. And you guys are off to a fucking great start. So Bob, how's it been, kind of holding it down? Because I believe these shows are at your house, correct?
Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun because when Steven was pitching us the idea of doing it, I was like, I would do it, but I want to do it different and I want it all done in person. So we can see each other's reactions in real time and just kind of BS and do it. And then to kind of make it like an event to where we fly a guest in or something like that. We go to dinner, we have a good time, then we record. It's been a lot of fun, man. I think we're 12 episodes in, so I couldn't even imagine. I think during your intro, you're saying you're almost 800 episods. That's insane.
Yeah.
We're 12 episodes in, and then we're okay, we're out of guests,
Well, I mean, to be fair, you guys are so close to each other. And I think it's great you have guests, but you guys don't need guests. I mean, with your guys' knowledge and what you guys talk about, I feel like it's cool that the guest gets to chime in. But, dude, you guys are the real fucking people bringing the content to the table based off the topics. And, again, the guests, I feel like, are the cherry on tops. But Man, if I had my co-host that lived this close to me and someone like fucking Steven, where I've given Steven so much props on his production. I mean, you want to talk about, and that's probably one of the reasons why I love what you guys are doing so much, other than the topics, the production. Like, that's, I mean, if I could do trap talk like that, I so would, but I don't have a Steven. And it's just me, dude. Like, I can't have someone run the fucking switchboards. And again, more power to you guys. But I've always respected you, Will, and Bob ever since coming into the scene, because again, I love Will's back history, where how much work he's put in behind the scenes before even putting himself out there on social media. And then you, Bob, you've always been fucking somebody doing moves in the ball python game. So having you guys all together speaking on what people are trying to claim to be dead, which is not further than the truth, you know what I mean? It's re-sparking everyone's fucking excitement all over again. So I don't know, how do you go ahead?
I think I agree. I mean, me and Will agreed to it pretty quick when Steven said he's going to do all the work.
It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because we don't know what like Will already does YouTube, so he can do some of the cut and clips and stuff.
Not
but
like that,
but to do the shorts and hype it up and kind of make it look legit, because if not, it would have just been, if I was in charge of it, we would have just been sitting on the couch with a few mics and 4 phones, each of us holding our phones, trying to record it, So yeah, when Steven's like, well, I'm going to do all the work, I'm like, oh, now I'm in, so that worked out really good. And we enjoy having the guests fly in, because it's like, and a lot of times I don't even want to talk about ball pythons as much. Obviously we'll talk about it, but I want to know, like, when a guest comes in, like, what is your deal? Like, what is your background? What is your, your agenda and your take on all of it? Because our take is jaded. Me and Will, we've been doing this since almost 20 years now. And so we're a little bit more jaded. We don't have the fresh perspective, but also the viewers are getting the perspective of 3 guys that are doing this full time, Steven, Leviathan is full time. I guess Steven's not, but Leviathan is. And me and Will have been full time for almost 10 years each now. So you can get that perspective of like, we do this full time, so it's definitely possible. Me and Will, we've been doing this for full time for 10 years. There's nothing special about us that makes sure that we're ahead of everybody or we're able to survive, the 2024s and the 2019s. I mean, yes, we are above average looking men, but that does, that's the only thing that differentiates us. But we're just trying to show that like the market's healthy, the market's alive. There's money coming in, there's people coming in, and there's a lot of excitement behind it, and not just like we've talked about it, about the negativity and all that. Of course,
and I totally agree with you, Bob. I will say what's special about you 3 is your commitment, because it's one thing to be a part of the ball python game, but how many people have been a part of ball pythons when it was good, like when it was easy to sell, and then when shit hits the fan, now what? You guys, especially you, Bob and Will, have survived every up and down in the ball python market ever since it's been on social media. You guys are recession proof, I guess I could say. Like, you guys determine where things are going in your guys' own business. Nobody else does. And that takes fucking commitment, dude. And again, that's where people's true fucking colors lie. Where's your commitment at? Like, how bad do you really want this? And are you going to let people's negative talk affect you from staying in the game? And you guys never listen to the BS. I think Will said it a long time ago on Trap Talk. Like, the boos always come from the cheap seats. Like, it's always going to come from the nosebleeds, people who are just looking from far, far, far down, and they're not actually on the field playing. So, and do you feel like that's still true to this day, Will?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, we've seen so much of it in the industry over the last couple of years, yet, Bob and I just went to Japan, and people from the other side of the world are like, oh man, I saw you posted this and I saw this. Like to think that it is dead is just so the reality is that the ball python market will never die. It'll just die for certain people.
Correct.
It's not dead. It may be dead for you.
Right.
Yeah. You're not putting in the work. You're not excited about it. You're just going through the motions. And, the guys who think that you can just produce a couple snakes and toss them on MORPH Market, next thing you know, you're going to have a Carrera. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't work like that. There's work behind it. You know, you have to be in the rat room cleaning all these rats and go through all the stresses of like I'm not having rats this week, and like you just figuring it out. And that's the people who go through all that, I think, end up and still love it. You know, going through all that and still like it. Those guys are the guys who shape the hobby at the end of the day.
I mean, isn't the whole ball python market's dead so 2017? Like that's literally the shit that was going around social media when I came in 2017, when I unprivated my Instagram account. I started tagging ball python hashtags, and I remember people literally talking shit on my post saying like, what a waste of time, get out of ball pythons, literally just barely less than a decade ago. And here we are again, but I feel like almost expected after what COVID did, right? Like, think about the boom. How many people got into this game through Freedom Breeder or ARS racks in their room when they just weren't ready for that shit? But they did it because they had the money. And who's going to stop somebody from trying to do what Bob or what Will or what Justin's doing? You go ahead. You know what I mean? But I think things, I don't know what you guys, we'll get your take on this, guys, but I think things are getting back to normal in a sense.
So do I.
Because you are hearing a less of the boos right now. I mean, they're always going to be there, but the whole like, oh, this dude got out, it's happening less and less. And I feel like the ones who are here to stay for at least the next 10 years, they're here and they're fucking putting in work. What do you guys think?
Yeah. There's like a couple videos that we've done recently on it where, again, we've only been in since 2020, so we don't have nearly the experiences any of you guys have in the industry. But even with that, I remember going on to Morph Market and seeing like 60,000 available ball pythons. Wow. And at the time, honestly, things were still selling for us. Like, I'm not saying that's true for everybody, but we still sold animals and we still made money, and it was still a good time, even though there was 60,000 available ball pythons. And now there's 20,000 available ball pythons. There's a third of the supply. And I'm like, we've just, and not trying to be like conceited, but gotten better than what we were. We've had better animals. We have better marketing. We have more friendships, stronger networks. Overall, I think the longer that you stay in, as long as you keep working at it and not just get complacent, you grow and get stronger and better. And when everybody else leaves because it gets hard, you just can take up more of the market share.
Yeah. Would you agree, Steven, that what led to you being successful when a lot of people couldn't sell ball pythons was due to you connecting with people and you flying to shows, meeting the right people? I mean, there's even people you met that you no longer really talk to, but you know that now by meeting them. And the relationships don't come and go. That's just part of adulthood. You know what I mean? But I feel like you connected yourself, Steven, with some of the best people you can. And that's why you're at where you're at right now.
I 100% believe that the relationships, networking, and marketing are the only reasons why we've had any level of success. Again, we've made a handful of good animals, but compared to somebody like Will or Bob or any of our other friends, we might make like 2 animals on their level a year. But we, again, not trying to be conceited on it, put in a lot of work when it comes to like marketing and networking, more so than what I feel like most people do in the industry. And I think that became like a competitive advantage for us. So even though we might only produce 2 or 3 like top tier animals a year, we have people who want to support us and that they're willing to buy them from us because they just like us. And I think that is, I'm not going to say that it's just anybody can go out and make a $30,000 snake, but it is, anybody can put 2 snakes into a tub together. The skill comes from being able to make the relationships, network, and get people to want to buy your animals.
Yeah, I mean, the flex isn't breeding ball pythons. The flex is what you do with your ball pythons after you breed them. And because again, anyone could buy a project and put these fucking ball pythons in a Nike shoebox. You're gonna get eggs. That's very doable in 2026. What isn't so doable is putting that shit on Morph Market or even going to a show and having sales. And that's coming from somebody who does minimal marketing, minimal connecting. I just don't see how that's
Wait. Are you saying that you do minimal marketing? You do a podcast every single night of the week.
You're 800 episodes in.
Yeah, you do so much marketing.
Wait, was I talking about me?
Oh, I thought when you said coming from somebody who does minimal marketing, I was like, wait, no, you do so much marketing.
I just meant from the standard individual, dude. I wasn't clowning myself.
Okay.
I was like, you're 800 episodes in, dude.
No, but again, one thing that I want to talk to you, Will, and Bob about, because when it comes to the caliber of breeder on this screen right now, you two have been some of the pillars in the game for a while, but competition in 2026, how do you guys deal with that first and foremost? And then also, I'm sure a lot of people want to know, Will, how it feels moving from Canada to Bob, and you're now in this triangle of fucking insane competition. And I don't know if you look at it as competition, but I want to get your take on how you are delegating your projects with the amount of years that you have, and you're still able to do your thing and not feel like I can't sell a snake.
I mean, I sold them before. I sold them before I got here. So like, I didn't see why I wouldn't sell them once I got here, So in fact, it's probably gotten better.
Right.
We're able to, like if Bob has somebody that reaches out, hey, I don't have one of these. Oh, hang on. Let me see if Will's got one, and vice versa. Like instead of competition, it's more like collaboration rather than anything, obviously his clutches are obviously his clutches and mine are mine, but there's more like I don't know, Bob. How do you handle, like, what do you add to that? Like, what I'm looking for the right word.
Yeah. So there's more camaraderie with Will being here, like in person, especially because he was over at my house this morning, and he's helping. Like, he came over to drop off mice. He went to pick up mice for both of us. So having him here, that is convenient for that, obviously, and having him like a second eye, and me being a second eye for him. Being like, hey, should I do this type of pairing? Yada, yada, yada. Hey, let me borrow that male, stuff like that. But it's also looking at the screen. You're looking at the 4 guys that basically built our business on that. What word you use? Relationships, right? We're all 4 very good at relationships and management of relationships. Sometimes you just know when a relationship's run its course and you can kind of cut ties or whatever. But all 4 of us have Patreons, and that's because we're good at relationships. We're good at mentoring or talking to people. And that's one of the toughest parts for some of these ball python breeders, is that I've had breeders that are way better than me at breeding ball pythons that didn't make it because they're just bad at either relationships, business management, or sales overall. And that's one thing all 4 of us are good at is that, that's how you're able to manage a Patreon or manage a close groups of friends or customers, instead of me having to have a list of customers that I already have. Well, they're on my Patreon. It helps, and if there was a program of some sort where I can wait list everybody, that would be great.
We'll get to that, I promise. Which I'm very excited to talk about, by the way. But before we kind of get there, Steven, I know one thing that you can appreciate is being able to be close enough to ever just come kick it with somebody like Bob and Will. But again, it takes effort. And I feel like you've always put enough effort to show that you give a shit, first and foremost. But, ever starting the podcast with these boys, what have you learned, Steven? Like, what are some of the takeaways you've gotten so far? Just, because you're part of the show too, dude. You're not just a producer, you're actually in it. And I'm so glad you're in it, because I think you need to be in that fucking conversation 100%. So what are some of the takeaways you've gotten so far?
There's so many like specific ones. Like one really specific one is don't put rats above your head level when you are cleaning them. But beyond specific stuff with that, this is kind of going a little bit more mindset stuff. I tend to always be trying to do something. Like I always have like some new project that I'm working on, and doing something like the podcast with Bob and Will, it results in growth that's not even just about the topics of the conversation, which does happen, but also just on, again, the mindset aspect of trying to solve problems for other people, helping people, not expecting something else back from it either. Like so MORPHMARKET, for example, MORPHMARKET sponsors the show, and what they do is that they provide money to help fly people out. Awesome. MORPHMARKET doesn't need to do that. MORPHMARKET already has all of the people who are watching our show, they already know Morph Market. But the fact that Morph Market is willing to do this to try to bring content to the reptile hobby for not a whole lot of benefit to them, really, really cool. And it's stuff like that where when it comes to, for example, they had joked earlier about me doing all the work. I look at it as Bob and Will lend credibility from their experience and their brand and their position in the industry to us. So if they are going to trust us to do something and bring us into it, we're going to make it as best as we possibly can. We don't want somebody to look at it and be like, oh man, why is Steven involved with it? It's essentially, I want them to be like, well, yeah, Steven does all the production stuff. Obviously he's involved with it. So,
Yeah.
but again, just, oh, go ahead. I apologize.
No, I mean, I'm just going to say, all I could think about if I was Darian, anything Bob's doing, I would want to sponsor for a few reasons. For a few reasons. Because when all this shit has hit the fan for Morph Market and there was groups being gathered, posts being made, Bob's always stood up and told the truth. Like he's always, and these are even people that were friends of Bob that were trying to come out and bash Morph Market. Bob does not play the friend game when it comes to telling the truth. Okay. And I've seen that on multiple occasions, but especially when Morph Market shit happened, right? Because there was literally an agenda to take Morph Market out. And I've had Bob on the show multiple times during that era where he stood and said, dude, this fucking industry would not be what it was without Morph Market. And not to mention, Bob's giving flowers to Morph Market because he's one of the very first members ever to be on Morph Market. Right. And I've seen some very fake backstabbing shit in this hobby. I'm so glad it's not Bob. That's one of those, dude. Because if it was, this hobby probably wouldn't be as fun as it is. Like, because how outspoken Bob is about standing on business and saying the truth, it's where things are at right now, dude. So, and I just want you to know that, Bob. I want you to know that I'm pretty sure I know why Morph Market sponsors your guys' podcast. Because I mean, it's not the only reason, because you're fucking in it, dude. So that would be my guess.
I appreciate that. But yeah, Morph Market has been such a key to, to our success, but also I feel like most breeders' success, especially during COVID. I mean, my God, during COVID, you post a snake on Morph Market and you got 19 inquiries that you have to screen through to see who's going to pay you first. Stuff like that. And Morph Market, in my opinion, has, it pushed the industry so far in comparison to websites that we were used to using before, Fauna, King Snake, and all that. And again, those were pillars of our industry. Sometimes I think we look back and we're like, oh, those apps weren't as good. Yeah, the technology just wasn't there yet at the time, or maybe they didn't invest as much money into it. We get a lot of recency bias where we're like, oh, Morph Market's so great, it has all these features that these other programs didn't. Yeah, but also those programs didn't charge us $800 a year, so they have all those funds to develop these add-ons for these things. And it's not so much that it's just the Morph Market thing itself. I've always been friends with the owner of Morph Market. That's John and Darian. So I've been friends with those guys for a long time, and I'm going to stand up for them if someone's going to just talk shit about my friends like that, and especially if it's not true, right? They're just coming out and just want to take Morph Market down, which is ridiculous because that's my livelihood. If Morph Market shuts down, then what am I supposed to do? Go sell on Craigslist, So it's I always want to stand up for your friends, but also if your livelihood depends on it, and the truth matters too.
Yeah, and I would say, Will, I mean, every time I've had some shit where my back's against the wall, I feel like you've been that guy to always kind of stand on what you feel like is right. And I got to give you flowers on that too, bro, because you're not scared to who you're going to piss off if you just tell the truth. Because I feel like you're somebody who gives a fuck about the truth. And so those flowers are for you too, Will.
Yeah, dude, appreciate it. Facts, not feelings,
For reals. And it's business too, man. We understand, we made this a business. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love being friends with people, but business is business. You know what I mean? Sure. And so the whole Morph Market takedown thing was such an emotional type thing where it just did not line with anyone who's really in this on the business side of things, or even the pet side of things. Like, it's not, you don't need to have a business to really support Morph Market. Morph Market supports the entire industry as a whole. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So,
and to take it down to what benefit, or to whose benefit, really?
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
So a little bit more on the podcasting topic. Steven, let me ask you, to Bob's take, he mentioned it doesn't need to be ball python related. So how are you guys shooting ideas? coming up with guests, or like, you know, how does that work out? Do you guys ever get together and plan all this via Zoom, or do you just go over and shoot the shit and write down notes, or like, how is this being all organized, Steven?
Kind of a combination of all of that, and then also like group chat and all that stuff that we have. So generally speaking, I'll kind of do topics. I'll come up with topics. Bob will come up with topics. Will come up with topics. And then when it comes time to shoot like an episode with a guest, we'll go through, here's all the topics that we had discussed, and we'll essentially pick out the ones we're like, oh, that sounds really interesting. Let's talk about that for 20 minutes.
Or it applies to the guest.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right.
And then when it comes to guests, there have been one super excited about the reaction to the podcast, because we've gotten a lot of people reach out to us asking about being guests that we definitely want to have on. One of the challenges we have is that we record once a month, so we bring a guest out and essentially record at least 4 episodes with them all at once. So really using that model, we can only get like 12 guests a year. So there's like a little things we can do where we can squeeze in some more, but it makes it difficult to get through all of the people that we want. But in a positive to that, we can get really, really interesting people in that aren't on podcasts a lot. And we essentially try to do that where we find people that have a lot of expertise in one specific area, bring them in, but aren't always on everybody's shows either. That's kind of a balance. Not that we're opposed to people getting on other shows either.
I haven't paid attention to it as far as like if you guys do this, because I always just watch the 20-30 minute clips you guys put out. But is there a place either in any of your guys' Patreon where you could watch the full episode where it's not clipped up? Do you guys do that?
We don't do a full episode. We do
episodes. It's all done in takes?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. But what about when a guest is there? Isn't when the guest there it's a full episode?
No. We sit down, say, hey, all right, so what's the next topic? We're gonna talk about this, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. And then we just like, okay, boom, starting this episode. And then we take 20 minutes, stop, and then have a beer, walk around, shoot the shit for a bit. All right, let's shoot another episode. And we should sit down again and chat again.
I think like 2 weeks ago when we were recording, I think we recorded 2 episodes. I went to the pool. We had a few beers, ate. 2 hours later, came back, recorded another episode with Addie.
Oh, okay.
And in the pool, you know, like we're not going to sit here and record for 2 hours straight. None of us have that attention span. So we just record for 20, 30 minutes, BS, and then go do something else and then come back.
That's actually pretty brilliant, because you got to think, just taking that break, doing something normal for a couple hours, you come back and it feels like a whole refreshed new topic. Like it doesn't seem stagnant. It doesn't seem like, oh God, we have another hour and a half of this. That's actually pretty wise. And whose idea was that? Like, because normally, like, I'm used to just sitting here for fucking 2 hours, only because I don't have the luxury of, all right, guys, let's go to the taco shop, or let's fucking go to the beach and come back. So whose idea was that? Your idea, Steven, to do that topic, or what was that?
I think it was all of ours, because one of the things that we talked about at the beginning when we were first doing it is that most of the Reptile podcasts are like an hour and a half, 2 hours, sometimes even 3 hours long. And even if there is amazing, incredible content in there, it might be a 30-minute segment of a 3-hour podcast. And it's really difficult for people who are new to a channel to find that 30-minute segment. So that's one of the things we all kind of talked about, is keeping it really, really topic focused, about that 20 to 30-minute mark. Sometimes we go over, but generally that's what we aim for. And then the idea is we want to make it where the conversation is deep enough for people who are really, really involved in the hobby that they get benefit out of it, and accessible enough to people who've never seen the channel before that they can just come in and watch an episode, and they don't have to worry about sitting through a 3-hour podcast when they don't know us and they don't trust if the content's going to be good yet.
Right. And you know, nowadays people just want the meat and potatoes, dude. They don't, they literally want the juice that they're there to squeeze, and they want to go on about their day. I feel like I have a little niche, what I've been doing, but I've been doing my thing for a long time now. You guys coming new into the space and doing things your way differently really has an impact. Because again, like I love this game, don't get me wrong, but I can't watch another Reptile podcast because I'm so much in my own world doing this. I'm just kind of burnt out of it. But when you guys had Miguel on, and I started following you guys then, dude, you had my attention. And also it's not a 3-hour thing. So I'm like, wow, this is going to be over before my workout's done. Like, this is awesome. You know what I mean? And also,
we got a lot of flack about that too. We flew Miguel out here. and we posted a 30-minute episode, the first episode, and they were like,
Oh yeah.
"You guys flew Miguel out there and did a 30-minute episode. Like you're wasting his time." And I was like, "Bro, yeah, I flew him all the way out here to do 30 minutes of interview."
Yeah.
And
We
I
did
was like, "We did
7 episodes with him. Yeah.
Sweet observation, asshole. Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus. But again, dude, that keeps people wanting more. I mean, it's that actually worked to your guys' benefit because people are like, Jesus Christ, that was only 30 minutes. I want more. And then guess what? The next week, here comes another gem. And so, again, I think it's brilliant. I really do. And it's very refreshing because we know over the last 2 years, all the fucking negative talk that we've seen people checking out, man, the Ball Python game really needed your guys' podcast. Which, by the way, what's the name? Is there a name
We
yet?
we don't have an actual name. So we tried so hard, but we don't actually vote on anything. It's essentially a unanimous decision on everything. And every single time we'd come up with a name where two of us like the other person, we're like, that's dumb. Hell no, we're not doing that. Like, so now we've just essentially given up. And we actually are getting t-shirts made of whatever the name of this podcast is, even though it doesn't actually have a name. Like,
so are you going to put whatever the name on the shirt?
I think the
name is whatever this podcast is called.
Oh yeah.
You have a couch right there. That'd be epic.
Yeah.
That's exactly the shirt. That is
Oh
the
my
exact
God.
shirt.
Sign me up. I'm an XL, please.
I proposed the casting couch, the whatever,
Yeah.
and they're like, "No, absolutely not." I'm like, "Fine."
We
At least you
got
got, you already got Bob's balls, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
it's-
Right?
yeah.
I'm like,
Like,
might
what?
as well.
I was just worried about people Googling that shit, man. Like that's
That's
what
why.
some kid is like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't put Bob's balls in any of the descriptions or stuff because I don't want to get us flagged. It's always Bob
Yeah, I
Boo.
can't. That happened to me on YouTube because I put Bob's balls in the titles and they're like, yeah, right, dude, pervert.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, that's his business name. What the fuck, you
Yeah,
know?
some kids watching us, and they're like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "I'm just watching the casting couch. It's fine."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's 3 dudes and a chick right now. It's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, okay. So yeah, guys, good shit on the podcast. I hope you guys keep it up. I'm sure you guys will. Another thing too, I don't think it's practical for you, Bob, because you run the whole fucking SERE show, but doing a show at the SERE show may be a possibility. Like, are you guys planning on doing any kind of live content at a Reptile show?
So not during the show itself, just because all 3 of us are vending or actually running the show.
Yeah.
But the Friday beforehand, we're gonna set up in like the overlook room. If you remember it, where you like
Where Bob's looking with his jersey.
Yeah.
Hard as
Yeah,
shit.
so we'll get it all set up there. We're gonna have the cameras pointing out through the window so you can kind of see the show below. Hopefully it looks really cool with
Really
the
cool.
setup. And then we'll bring guests up there as they are not busy from setting up. And we'll try knock out a bunch of episodes through that.
Sweet. So that's
What day are you flying in? MJ.
and me, I'm flying. So I fly into Marshall's Wednesday. So Alabama, I go and I'm gonna meet Bill Stiegel, Ryan Young, Gary Scavino, and then on Marshall, and then we're all gonna drive over to the show Friday. So we'll get in Friday, like early afternoon Friday. So and then we'll roll up and do the damn thing. I'm excited that you guys got fucking some heavy chondro hitters going to your guys' show, man. It's
gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah,
it's gonna be fun, dude. And again, man, Bob, going to your show also was refreshing. You know what I mean? Again, shout out to the Tinleys and the Reptile Super shows, but nothing has hit like an SERE, man.
I appreciate that.
It's because I feel like the scene, the show venue is just really, really top notch. The area, I like the area. It's just a beautiful area. You know what I mean?
And there's a lot to do there. A lot of good food. Bars are great there. The hotel has like that. Like a really cool hangout vibe. Everyone went upstairs that one show.
Oh, I love the upstairs, the roof bar upstairs.
Yeah.
I got fucking hammered there last time, dude. Oh my!
Hey,
I don't remember.
This venue loves Reptile people, by the way, because we spend so much money on alcohol. Brian Carter was up there. I think he bought drinks for like 6 hours straight. So yeah, the bars definitely love us there.
It's gonna be epic. So I got to ask you, Bob. Getting into SERE talk now. What's going to be the vendor, I guess, side of like how many vendors are you going to have compared to your previous shows? Are you still sticking around the same amount of vendors? Are you expanding? What's this year going to look like?
So for this show, the August show, it's going to be our biggest show. We have finally been able to rent the entire venue. There's been a lot of like scheduling conflicts where there's another show next door or whatever.
Right.
So we got the entire venue this time. So I was able to add more vendors. So people don't come at me, like, oh my God, Bob's trying to gatekeep and not let any new vendors in. We did manage to add 35 new vendors.
Oh, sweet.
I can squeeze probably 60 new vendors, 70 new vendors. The only problem with that is, 35 new vendors, you're adding about 20% more vendors almost. And that requires a 20 to 30% increase in attendance, and without that, these vendors are not going to make money. I don't want to add, 200 vendors onto the vendor list and everyone makes a little bit less money. That's not the goal. I want everyone to be happy when they're there. I want everyone to have a shot at making money. Obviously we can't guarantee every vendor makes money, but I want everyone to have a shot at it. They have, 10,000 opportunities at closing sales. That's the goal. I want 10,000 people through the door. You have 10,000 opportunities so that if you don't make money, that's your fault. I don't want it to be where you're like, oh man, Bob's just making all this money off the vendor tables. And then we bring in the exact same amount of attendance. And that's not the goal. We want to increase our attendance 20, 30%. And if we can hit that number, then we can add an extra, 20, 30 vendors the following show. So this show, we're gonna it's gonna be a little more, not like wide open, but I did save a big area for the reptile talk, which is we're having Jason from the zoo, our friend Jason. He's on the Animal Planet Zoo Tampa show, and so he's gonna be coming in to do a guest talk. I'm having Aaron Mathis do one of the guest talks, the educational talks. Sweet. I want people to not only come to a show and, it's just to buy stuff. I want them to learn stuff too. So we're going to have like an hourly talk. Every hour there's going to be a talk, but it's only going to last 15 to 20 minutes. These speakers, these two, in my opinion, are really important. Is Jason's going to be talking about different species of tortoises and turtles and some of the ones that are the best and worst pets for the industry. And I feel like that's necessary because I feel like every person thinks they should own a sulcata when they really shouldn't. And really what they're looking to buy is what they should be looking to buy is a leopard tortoise or a Russian tortoise or something like that. But they always lean towards the sulcata because someone always has a 200-pound sulcata there and it's so cute and you can hand feed it and it's following you around. It's awesome because that breeder took time to tame down. Again, the sulcatas aren't like aggressive or anything, but dude, an angry sulcata can dig holes through your walls, destroy your whole house, destroy your whole yard, but so he's going to have that discussion. He's going to be talking about Aldabras, Galops. We have Aldabras for him to do demonstrations with a sulcata. So we'll have all the tortoises. And then I think a really important conversation at a show is the large constrictors talk, which is Aaron Mathis's specialty. Aaron Mathis has bred and hatched more species of reptiles than all four of us combined. So I wanted him specifically to do the talk and explain to people the responsibility it takes to own an adult reticulated python or an anaconda or a rock python, something like that, because they're going to see it for sale. And we've all seen it. We've seen retics or berms or whatever on tables for $150. And it sounds really cool to a new keeper. Oh, this thing's going to be 18 feet or 15 feet. And, in their mind, it sounds awesome, but they don't think about the fact that this is also a 150 or 120 pound of muscle. This is a big freaking snake. It's strong. It requires two people to manage it. I've had some very, very advanced keepers nearly die handling large snakes by themselves. These things, they can flip on you, so always, and the responsibility of not just that, your safety, but also the care for that animal. You own a 12-foot or 15-foot snake, there's responsibility there of maintenance. That thing takes a dump and it, destroys its cage and you're gonna have to clean it and all that stuff. The feeding bill is not cheap. Feeding a baby goat or a piglet, stuff like that. So I think that educational part is really important. We're looking at a third Speaker, probably going to be something amphibian related on that side, to kind of like show the difference of different amphibians that you can get that are easy, and then some that are way advanced. You know, I've killed my fair shares of frogs, okay, because I thought I was good enough of a keeper, and I've fried some frogs, you know, putting lamps or whatever on them, and then forgot to spray them. So there are easy frogs, and then there are difficult frogs, just like snakes. So I think the educational part, sometimes as show promoters or show vendors, whatever, we kind of forget about, because we're thinking about the money more. Oh, right. I just need to make sure my vendors make money. But also we need our attendees to be well educated, or get a chance to be educated. So yeah, that's just a low add-on for the show. We're really excited having 4 rooms for this upcoming show. Is going to be huge. Obviously we have snake discovery there. That's going to bring in a giant crowd. You know, it's just going to be a good time, man.
Okay, I got to ask you on the topic of snake discovery. You know, obviously she could bring quite the attendance. And I know, I forget what they do at Tinley. They have them line up outside, or do you have anything, like, is she going to get her own room, or what are you going to do for Emily? Like, how's that going to work?
No, so the own room thing in my, okay, this is just, again, I've only had 4 shows, so I can't speak for any of the other shows. I don't have the experience for that. But to have them in a separate room is a disservice to your other vendors, right? Because if I'm a family and I just want to see Emily, and I show up, if she's in another room, I just go over there, take my picture, and leave. That person still have to pay me for tickets as the promoter, but you don't get a chance to sell them anything. So actually, they are going to be in the same room, but they're on the far side from where the vendors are. They're going to be in a little corner. And they have their own separate line, a snake discovery line that we do. This past show we did, and it worked flawlessly. We do a thing where, when first come, first serve, the first 100 people or first 30 groups of people will get a bracelet or a wristband that says 10 to 11. So that's their meetup time. They can go see snake discovery from 10 to 11 o'clock. So they go in and wait in line. But we only give out 30 groups of wristbands. Then from 11 to 12, there's another group, and then, you know, so on and so on. This prevents you from, if let's say you get there at 11 o'clock and your meetup time is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you don't have to wait in line for 4 or 5 hours. You can go to the mall, you can go have lunch, go shopping, go walk around and learn stuff, go to the reptile talk, walk between tables and spend 2-3 hours, whatever, and then get in line, because I go on the intercom every hour and I say, hey, it is now, you know, 10:45. That means for the 11 o'clock people, start getting in line to go meet Emily. This way it prevents, because the first show we had her was such a shitstorm. We had people waiting in line for 6-7 hours to meet her, you know, and that's unacceptable. That's not acceptable, because first of all, no one wants to have to do that. And then second of all, they wait in line. It means they can't shop with my vendors, you know, so that's just bad overall. So having this ticketing system, the wristband system, worked out really well last time. So there's only really about 100 people waiting in line at a time. They're going to be on the far side of the room. They have their separate entrance to see them, but from them, it spits them out after they meet them into the actual show itself. So once they meet them, they can wander the show afterwards.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, because it could be tricky, dude. You know, that's actually a really good idea, to find a way for people who are waiting for Emily to go spend some time in the room, or, you know, because the last thing you want, you know, I mean, yeah, you could selfishly be like, oh, buy a ticket, see her and leave, but that's not going to really benefit the vendors. Right. And then again, you being a vendor, Bob, I feel like that's why you're putting yourself in the vendor's shoes. A lot of these people who throw shows, you know, not that they never vend before, but that's not what they do. You actually vend. Yeah. And I also thought that was a pretty cool connection with you throwing a show, but you vending is just as important. But here's a question for you, Bob. You know, the fact that you are throwing a show that's this big now, are you worried about doing so good at your own show? Like, does that kind of, like, just because you don't know what people are going to say, like, you know, and the thing is, you kill it at almost any show you go to, but this is your own show. So if you do the best at your own show, you think there's going to be a little bit of like, oh man, that's conflict of interest, or like,
I hope crush everybody else in sales, because if you get outsold by me, and when I say me, I mean Bob's Balls. I'm not even at the table.
Yep. So Bob is not even.
If you're getting outsold by Ryan and Aaron, again, they're great salesmen, but they're not the breeder. I'm the one that breeds, and the passion is on my end. They, you know, they're employees, but they're good at their job. But if you get outsold by them, you know, and again, I'm just another vendor. Just pretend I'm another vendor. yes, sure, I'm gonna get preferred table placement. Obviously, I'm gonna give myself some of the best table placement. But,
Next to Monster.
yeah, but could you imagine? I host my own show and we flop and we don't make money. That show's not that good then.
No shit. Yeah.
I know the inventory I bring. I have ranges of animals from $200 to $10,000. So really, if you need something, I probably have it. So it's up to us to close the deal. And if there's enough attendance, my team is gonna do well. And I gauge our sales on how good the show is, because my team did well. Other ball python breeders probably did well. If we sucked, the other vendors probably also sucked. And thank gosh, my guys crushed it in January, but we also had really good inventory. So
I mean, I want to
go ahead, Steven.
Oh, I was going to add one thing on that one is I don't think that there's ever been a SERE that there weren't multiple breeders doing 5-figure shows. Like I think it was maybe the second one, because I wasn't at the very first one, because it was the fall one, but the first winter one, we were there and Brett and John, somebody came up and bought a very, very expensive snake in cash, and they're laying out on our table on top of our bells. And I'm like, this is the most money these snakes are ever going to see as it's going on. I think Barry ended up doing again, I don't want to put out people's business, a very, very good show. Was it last time?
I had another guy that sells monitors, rare monitors. And then he came up to me on Saturday at noon and he was like, we're sold out. And I was like, what? And he was like, I don't know what to do with my tables. I don't have anything for sale. He did $40,000 by noon on Saturday. And I was like, this guy's going to outsell everybody at the show. And then luckily we had another vendor do more than 40, which I'm really happy when I hear these things. When a vendor comes to me and is like, I did $40,000 here. And I'm like, dude, I just had a vendor do almost someone's annual income in 2 hours. I mean, that's something to be proud of. And I'm really happy for these guys. Because when you pay me your table money, it's my job. Again, the job is promoter, literally, is to make sure I help you make money, promote the show and help you make money. Sometimes I feel like some promoters, again, I'm not saying all, because I love some of these promoters, but some promoters can forget what their job actually is. Your job is not to book the venue and give them the space. Your job is promoter. You promote the show and you bring people through the door. You don't expect your vendors to do it for you. I've had promoters tell me before, hey, can you post about the show? Which I will, obviously. But if that's all they're doing is expecting their vendors to bring in people, that's not their job. They already paid me to do that job. So my job is to get people through the door. So I have to have these meetings with these nerds like Daniel and Steven about how to promote better and how to get these ads to hit better, And I think me, Steven, and Daniel sat for an hour or something the other day just to go through our Google ads, because me and Daniel have no idea what we're doing on that. We know everything else, but that's Steven's job. Steven is the master for that, because that's his actual job, is promoting. He does this for the Y and the YMCA for those that don't know. And that's his actual job, is promoting. So why not call in a real expert and help us?
Bob's putting thousands of dollars into advertising just on YouTube right now. And I don't want to share all the numbers, but honestly, the conversion rate and the cost per conversion is low enough where it's like, let's keep printing it. Let's go.
It's worth it.
Yeah. Because each time that we can track individually as tickets are sold, so we know exactly which ads are generating the most traction. We can target it, all of these different things. So essentially it's every single dollar that's going in, actually it's $2.80 some cents, is generating a ticket sale. So we know how to scale it, and we can just keep bringing more and more people into it.
And again, man, one of the beauties about this hobby is there's people like Steven out there. Not a lot, but you could be the best ball python breeder you could possibly be, but if you don't know the shit Steven knows, good luck. You know what I mean? You can only go so far without knowing what Steven knows.
Yeah, because you don't have to know everything. That's my greatest strength in my career, is that I am very good at asking people for help. And I'm very good at identifying the people that I need around me. I don't need to know everything as long as I have friends that know everything. You don't need a truck if you have a friend with a truck. The guy,
I can use the Corvette. I don't need a truck.
Yeah, I'm the friend with a pool. Okay, I'm that friend. Okay, but I'm not the friend with the boat.
And the herping skills.
Yeah, the herping skills, all that is on me. I don't have a boat. I don't know how to do anything tech savvy. Everything that is Daniel's job. I call Daniel for almost, dude, when new Patreon members sign up and they don't know how to connect their Discord, I literally say message Daniel because
Oh no, we lost him.
Oh, yep. See, I can't even fix that when it freezes.
No, but you're saying about the Discord connection. What you send them?
Yeah, like if a new member joins and they can't connect their Discord, I just say message Daniel.
Yeah,
I have no idea what's even going on in Discord, like how to. I just know how to post in there, how to go live, stuff like that. But I was able to identify that Steven obviously is good at this, because if it was up to me, I would have just told Daniel, okay, here's 10 grand, dump it into Google Ads. Good luck. But Steven's like, well, what if we dip our toes in with, I think we started with $4,000 or something. And now we're able to watch which one of the ads are generating the most clicks, which ones is converting to sales. And then they were able, between him and Daniel, they were able to make it where if they click on the ad through Google or through YouTube, we can tell if they bought a ticket or not because they go to a certain screen or whatever. So now we know, okay, these people are buying tickets through Eventbrite. These people are buying tickets through Facebook, through our website, through YouTube, so that we can scale it up. Okay, more people are buying tickets through YouTube. Okay, spend more money there. Spend your 20 grand there instead. Let's say if your marketing budget is $30,000, you have to be able to divide it out and use it wisely. You can't just dump all your money into certain things. Right. So with them being able to measure all these metrics, we're able to use our money more efficiently, and hopefully bring that 30% increase in attendance.
Wow. Damn. I mean, yeah, there's a lot to it, man. A lot of moving pieces. But again, it's kind of what goes with the territory of throwing a show, especially when the potential's there for a show like yours, Bob. Like, holy shit. I'm telling you right now, I'm so stoked to go in August. Like I didn't go last. When was my last time I've been there?
You were there last. Were you there last August?
No, February.
Last February.
Yes. Yeah. So it's been over a year. Well over a year. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what goes down this year, and I'm happy with the group of people I'm going with. My boy Emilio is going to be vending. So my next topic for you guys, and we'll start with you, Bob, for someone out there, because a lot of people who would love to get into a Tinley, they might get the opportunity, but in their eyes, they're like, I don't have the animals for a Tinley. Like I'm not going to do Tinley because I don't have fucking showcase animals right now. So if someone is feeling like they need to have showcase stuff for your show, what do you have to say to that? Like, what kind of animals do you feel like are going to be fine selling at an SERE?
Okay, so if you can get tables at my show, again, I'm not promising anybody tables because we're so swamped on the wait list. Yeah. Once you get a table, really anything's fine. Just be professional. Dude, I have dudes that are crushing it. Okay, so one of the guys that that's in my Patreon, shout out to the Boss Patreon, is Jacob from Wrapped Up Reptiles. Okay, he brings ball pythons that are in the price range of like $100 to $500 mostly. Perfect. And I went over to, that's like most of the inventory on the table. There's some project animals that he's really passionate about. It's like $1,000, $2,000 animals. And I gave him an end cap, and I walked over there, towards the end of the show. I'm like, how'd you do? And he goes, we sold 46 snakes. Wow. This dude just jammed $12,000 in his pocket from selling $300 and $400 animals. Our show, we're not like discriminant in like, oh, you better have $10,000 animals or you're not vending my show. That's really bad, because if we all have $10,000 animals on the table, where none of us are actually really making any real money, because those $10,000 animal sales depend on other vendors. After Jacob makes $12,000, he's going to come to my table or some Will table or Justin table, whoever, and say, oh man, I need an upgraded male. I'm going to spend $3 grand, $4 grand with this to get a better animal. Then maybe will go to someone else's table and spend $8 grand, whatever. That's where it trickles upwards. But without the guys making those $300 and $200 sales, me and Will don't have a job. Because a lot of our inventory goes to guys that need those upgrades, right? And so we need those vendors. We need, and again, our show is so heavily focused towards bringing in new breeders, not just cater to the seasoned breeders and bringing in these big name breeders. We're catered to new breeders too, and new keepers. That's why we have Snake Discovery and the Reptile Talks and all that. So they're gonna come up and point at your snake and ask, "Is this poisonous? What does it eat? You know, can I feed, you know, whatever, can I feed it crickets? Just dumb questions that you're like, why would they ask me this? But these are literally brand new people that have no idea about reptiles or
Right.
children or whatever. And it's kind of our job to kind of treat them like real people and educate them. And I think that's one of the biggest keys in our industry to help grow it is education and having these shows and having these shows not look like a swap meet, man. I've been to a lot of shows. I probably attended 400 or 500 shows in my career, and I've been to some swap meet looking shows, you know.
Give me an idea what a swap meet show looks like.
You go in, there's a guy with no tablecloths.
Oh,
There's a bunch of deli cups that haven't been cleaned. It looks like the animals traveled from one show to another in the same deli cup.
yeah.
We've seen it. We can recognize it. You can smell it. The venue's dingy. You know, they went and booked a $500 hall somewhere or $1,000 gym, a gymnasium. I've vended some of these places. You know, I used to vend every show. So I pulled up to a venue and I'm like, this is literally a church. Or, you know, like I've been in a school gym. I've been in a school cafeteria. I've vended some sketchy venues. And the problem for me is that when a family of 3 or a family of 5, you know, when a dad's like, hey, I booked us this cool thing about this reptile thing. You guys want to go? And of course, the kid's like, hell yeah, dude, we want to go see these reptiles. So they come out, they spend $70, $60, whatever for tickets. And it's a little swap meet. It's just literally you go in, it smells like butt. There's just vendors that don't care. And it turns them away from our industry. These people no longer want their kids to be involved in reptiles, because why would you want your kids involved in something like that? Why would you want your kids to be involved in something grimy and it's just a bunch of people who don't care about reptiles, and you got an adult bearded dragon in a 6-quart container? You know, like I want people to come in here, come into the show and be like, wow, these guys really care about this stuff. You know, like that's why I have guys like Aaron Mathis and Matt Bowers and the Big Snake guys that really care, because dude, those guys screen their customers before you're even allowed to buy a snake from them. You know, because they take it that serious. But again, they only do 2 litters of retics, 2 clutches of retics a year, so they don't really, you know, they can afford to do that. But yeah, I think that part is really important to bring in a high class show so that investors are like, look, man, I've seen some people come in and they've never held a ball python before. 2 years later, they got a whole collection, and because they went to the right show, they talked to the right breeder, and they're like, man, this thing is cool. You guys really care about this stuff. But if that same guy that would have spent 50 grand on snakes would have never done it if he went to that whole bunk show and no one cared about him and just wanted to get money off of him real quick and rip. Or
he buys a snake from that show and then takes it home and it's dead in 3 weeks. It's like that ruins the experience right there. You know, like,
that's the worst experience for a kid is buying an animal and feel like you got ripped off and sold a crappy snake.
And to touch on that, Will, you know, I feel like majority, if not every vendor at Bob's show, if that were to happen to a customer and they reached out, that vendor would take care of that person.
I feel,
you would think, you know, obviously it's circumstantial, depends what it is, but either way, they wouldn't just tell them to go fuck themselves or like, you know, good luck. There would be options, you know what I mean? And again, you know, you being in your shoes, Bob, that's why you are the way you are, because you feel like the first impression really matters from the outsiders looking in. When somebody's not too sure about a reptile and they go to their very first reptile show, all it takes is that one bad experience for them to be like, well, reptiles just aren't for me. And I'm going to go back telling people I hate snakes. You know what I mean? And so, and again, we're too small of a world to let that happen. Like we need to make sure or do our best that people firsthand experience are the best they could possibly be, or purchase. All that shit matters, man. Because like you said, that one purchase turns into 2 years later, I'm in a business of it now. You know what I mean? And that doesn't need to be the goal. You know, you don't need to get into snakes to have a business. It just happens to be the norm when people are loving it. When people love this, they turn it into a business. You know what I mean? So Will, I got to ask you, what's going to be your lineup like at the SERE coming in August? What kind of animals do you think you're going to bring? I want to get some insight.
Not what you think. Not what you would expect from me normally. As it stands right now, I am super low on inventory. So I don't
Really?
have.
Dude, the market sucks. How are you low on inventory?
Right, I know. Yeah, I don't have anything to sell. I'm like, Bob knows I've been like going stir crazy. I'm like, I need these eggs to start hatching. So I start hatching July 4th, and then pretty consistently after that. So depending, I mean, again, last thing I want to do is bring small babies that aren't well established to a show. Those probably won't make the cut. But I do have like a lot of like, you know, some really pretty pet stuff. So it's probably going to be a lot of that. Is it February? Is that what the next one is?
February, yeah.
The February show, I can bring like the heat. Yeah. I could bring good stuff from last year, but it's all 700 grams and I don't want to stuff it in a deli cup and, you know, it's doing really well. Just let it stay. So it's going to be a lot of stuff that's just really stuff for sale. There's still some nice project animals in there for sure. You know, some like DG Pidehat clowns and stuff along those lines. But for the most part, I would say it's going to be quite a bit of, you know, sub $500 stuff.
What about you, Steven?
So honestly, a lot of the same. We've had a couple clutches that have hatched out already that will be good to go for the show. But our best clutch that we'll have there is a split clutch with Bob. And we're gonna have like 2 animals if we maybe from it, but that's a DG Sunset Hypo Clown clutch. But everything else is gonna be pad level stuff.
DG Sunset Hypo Clown.
Oh yeah,
wow, that's insane.
Yep. So we hit a DG Sunset Pos double het that I'm assuming is going to be Bob's pick from the clutch because he gets first pick. As long as it proves
these are already out of the egg.
Mm-hmm. So that's part of the not problem. The only bad thing that I'm going to say about the August Southeast Reptile Expo is it's so early in the season, it's not convenient for us personally. So Bob should change the entire show to cater to us.
Yeah.
November. Yeah.
Honestly, that's why October Tinley is such a success. Everyone got babies ready. Yeah.
And you can, and it's like, anything that's hatched out up until mid-September can go. And
Will, you're gonna be vending Tinley in October or no?
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got some him the best tables in the show.
Which is next to yours, I'm assuming.
He's getting my old tables.
Oh, really? Well, your old spot?
Yeah.
Okay, but you still have your corner there, right?
I still have a different spot because for those of you that went to Tinley, you saw that I have 2 different booths. And apparently that's against the rules. So I lost one of the spots, and I gave it to Will.
Yeah, better ask.
I'm beside Kittinger and across from like Chad Halker and Dave and those guys. Yeah.
Nice. Shout out to Chad, man. I just had Chad on the show the other week, and
chondro expert.
Fucking guy, man. You know. But again, you know, Chad's not your ordinary ball python guy. He's been in this shit since the late 90s.
Oh,
and literally geeking out over colubrids. So, like, he's had his feet dabbled in multiple species for a while. So it doesn't surprise me. He's had quite the success on his first chondro clutch. But don't worry. I mean, he's getting put through the ringer still, dude. It's good, but also he's getting his ass chewed out in some areas too. Which it comes with the territory, dude. Chondros are chondros, man. But Bob, with that being said, you know, are you very picky about not having too many ball python people at your show, or do you don't care that it's going to be majority ball pythons? Like, what's your take on how like Tinley likes to almost not have ball python people all be there? What are you doing now?
I'm not saying I'm taking the same approach as Tinley, where I tell people if you breed ball pythons, you know, you're never getting on a list or anything. Right. But we do have a cap for it. I have a percentage cap for ball pythons, crested geckos, dry goods. Everything has a cap, because if we allow, again, I know it sucks because I have probably 1,000 friends that breed ball pythons, and it sucks because I can only pick which ones to vend. And so obviously we're gonna prioritize the first vendors that vended with us in, you know, the first show, just out of loyalty, and then we kind of have to pick and choose, you know, first on the wait list versus do we want this vendor, or is this vendor ready? You know, I'll be honest, it sucks, and I don't want to have to ever say this, but if SERE is the first time you're gonna vend, it's difficult for me to put you in. I'm probably still will, you know, for some vendors, certain vendors, so I can mentor you, but I like it if they've had enough shows under their belt, they're going to be professional. Because, man, I remember the first show I vended, I didn't have a tablecloth, I didn't have a permit, and all these things, you know, and I can't really have that at my show. But again, if you're, especially, I do prioritize my Patreon members because I already know they're going to show up ready. Because we have a literal tab that says how to vend shows and what we use for shows. So they have a checklist of all the things they need to bring to a show. They're going to have hand sanitizer. They're going to have this. They're going to have this, lights, all that. And they're not going to embarrass themselves. That my job is to make sure my Patreon members don't embarrass themselves when they come to a show. And so I do prioritize those guys. And the cap is around 30%. Obviously, there's going to be some wiggle room, like, oh, I really need to add this guy or whatever. Around 30% for ball pythons. And that's a lot. That's already high. Originally, I was going to go with 20%, but I realized how many ball python breeders there are in the world. So the hard cap is 30%. Because if you walk in and every third table is ball python, that's already a lot, you know. I've been to show where it's 50%, which is obnoxiously high. Every other animal you see will be a ball python. That's too much. So the hard cap's 30%, and we have a cap for crested geckos. Really, when anyone puts in an application and it says New Caledonian geckos, it's most of the time it's just crested geckos and you know, crested lychee, stuff like that. So we have a cap for that too, because the variety is so important in our industry, and that's why people like going to that show in California, right? And that show like Tinley, they want to see the variety. I want to see beauty snakes and king snakes and abronias and all that stuff. So we have to save the table space in case a guy that says all I breed is abronias. I'm like, yeah, you're in, you know. And obviously one of your sponsors is Sundown Reptiles. You know, he was one of my key targets. I was like, I need this guy at the show because he breeds rare stuff that you don't see at regular shows. So I needed him. So I saved room on a vendor list for certain species that we don't have. So I always put a call out. Hey, I need Australian geckos. I need someone that breeds levis or whatever certain species. So I think that's really important because I don't want anyone to feel like they got pigeonholed into ball pythons only. Well, that's all I saw at the show, so that's what I bought. I'm like, no, you come to Southeast Reptile Expo, you're going to have your opportunity to buy, you know, 50 different species, but you landed on ball pythons because that vendor, you know, you like that vendor or you like the price point or you like the species itself, you know, whatever. But you're going to have the opportunity to see all the other species and get educated in them, so that if your first reptile ever might be a Chinese king rat and you know, or something like that. So, or a black-headed python, whatever. So yeah, that's the goal.
Can I toot my own horn real quick? Because I'm going to do it anyways. So
yeah.
Let's go.
So Brian Susan, right? Very good friend of mine. Very proud to have him as a main sponsor. But I'm the one that told him, I'm like, hey, are you going to go to Bob Vu's show? And he's like, oh, fuck, Bob Vu's show? Well, when is it? Told him the date. And it was very close to Daytona. And he's like, I don't think I'm going to do that over Daytona. I was like, buddy, you better really consider it. I'm telling you right now. I was like, for multiple reasons. There won't be another table like yours there. Plain and simple. And so he did it. And after he did, he called me and he fucking told me I'm going to do every single SERE I could possibly do.
Yeah, that's right. Because he's so awesome too, right? I mean, he's
a natural, bro. He's fucking really good at what he does.
Yeah, and he likes to educate, and you know, he puts out good content. The setup's amazing, as you know, all the time. And because of him, well, he's one of the reasons we ended up moving our show back a week so that we're 2 weeks away from Daytona, so people can get their animals home, watered, hydrated, fed, and then go to Daytona in 2 weeks and vend the show. Because back-to-back weeks for ball pythons is no problem. No problem for ball pythons, but chondros,
abronias, anything like that,
right. The tree monitors, the amount of stress on these animals going back-to-back weeks is too much. So having that buffer week in between to get all your animals hydrated and get give yourself a chance to relax is that was important. So I'm glad we were able to move the show back.
Yeah. Very, very wise, man. And Bob, Daytona is a show that you still do, correct? Like you. Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of giving yourself a little bit of slack too, because I can't imagine throwing a fucking show and then cool, Daytona's next week. You know what I mean?
Oh, it was the worst. Probably one of the worst schedules I've ever done. Was I did my show, Daytona, and then Nick and Troy's All American show back to back. By the time I got, and I feel bad, I apologize to you, Troy, because by the time I got to that third show, I was already so done with vending. I got there, I set up my displays. I literally, they're like, "Do you want to go to dinner?" I closed up all my shit and left. I just covered all my shit up and I said, "I'm going to herping, dude. I'm gonna go out herping and I'll see y'all in the morning." Because I was so done with vending and vendors and reptile talk. No, I don't want to go to dinner with you guys and talk about ball pythons, dude. I want to go out in the woods and flip rocks over, you know. So yeah, I do apologize for that.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. But you still showed up. That's what matters.
Yeah, we vended. We had a good time, and if anyone that knows me, man, herping is like my true passion is herping, and I just breed ball pythons so I can afford to go herp. So when I vend your show and I don't show up for dinners, I set up and I leave to go herp. Don't be offended.
Fun.
Go ahead, Steven.
Oh, I was just gonna say, fun thing. The copperhead that we found, one of them at Savannah, we posted a reel of it the other day. I don't know if you saw it, but it's up like after like 2 days, 213,000 views. So I was pretty excited about that. Yeah.
Wow. Wait, you guys did that trip together?
Yeah, down in Savannah. Yeah,
that was last weekend.
Yeah.
Nice. So right now it's prime time herping right now, right? Like because of the weather, it's hot, snakes are coming out, things are coming under the rocks.
Like April, May, and then October are like the best times for here because it's either just heating up, so they're coming out of the hibernaculums and they're starting to come out of the dens. And then October is when they call it Hogtober for a reason. Hog noses and all these colubrids are trying to gorge down as much food as possible before they have to go into the cooling period. So you can see hog noses and all these colubrids are wandering and hunting. And then as soon as November hit, that's game over, buddy. November to February are like the most depressing months for me. Get out. You're not finding anything. So that's when I like try to plan trips like, you know, go to Cancun or go to Costa Rica or whatever so I can herp overseas because those months are just so depressing being in the U.S.
Well, come to San Diego then, bro. What are you doing? Like, come over here. It's still hot over here during that time, so you're good.
I might do that.
What were you gonna say, Will?
When we went to Savannah, I saw more gators than I've seen in, well, obviously in my whole fucking life because we don't have those. Like I was like, yo, those things are just out in the fucking water.
I'm throwing it out there. I caught a 12-foot alligator there.
We do have
I held on to him as he dragged me into the water because this thing is so heavy. And I'm just holding on to his tail, and the guys are just like, "Let it go!" And I'm like, "I can't."
Wait, so you didn't put that footage out there?
No, we can't.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah. So, okay, that's tomorrow.
I'm kidding.
I'll tell you this: just like the image of handling of keeping snakes. Yeah. Everyone knows, and all my friends know, I love to handle stuff. I can't just go and take pictures of snakes. I like to handle snakes. I don't care what I'm going to handle it. Yeah. But I don't post it. And it's for this reason is because I don't want someone to watch my videos or reels or whatever and be like, I want to do that. And then they go out there and they grab a rattlesnake or a copperhead or whatever, and then ruins their entire herping career because they're never going to herp again. You get bit by a rattlesnake. That's it. You're never herping again. Yeah. You know, or most likely. Yeah. So that's why we never post that stuff. Again, it's just like be mindful of what you post. You know, it's just like be mindful when you're vending a show that this it affects people around you. People are going to look at that and say that's what I should be doing or can be doing. And that's why we don't post a lot of my I post a lot of herping reels, but I would never post, you know, the stuff that I do behind the scenes. Again, I love touching reptiles. So if I see stuff, I just have this impulsive thoughts of like, I need to pick that up. And let's share that with the world.
Even if it's a fucking dinosaur.
Well, I know you've been following me for a while. Do you remember when I had that pet rattlesnake, that fucking Pacific, what is it? Oh my God. What is it called? Oh my God. I can't remember the name, they come in like white, Bob, like they be either white or they're like pinkish and they're pretty small.
Oh,
speckled. Yes.
Speckled. Yeah. I want one of those, but I can't keep them here. I can only keep native venomous.
So Bob, I got this rattlesnake as a pet for my buddy who was putting me into the ball python game at that time. And he's like, he came over to my house and he had this little baby speckled in a Coca-Cola bottle. And he's like, dude, I can't have this in my house. My wife's about to leave me. Like, she's going to fucking like report me to the courts and take my kid away. And I'm like, oh shit. I was like, to me, I'll fucking take it. And it was like, you know, I had no idea what I was doing, but I got it to eat. And then next thing you know, I'm like, I have to fucking hold this thing, dude. Like, and once I did, bro, I could not put the fucking thing down. And it got to the point where my wife kept walking in my room while I was handling it, and she would freak the fuck out. She would like, for 2 years, she threatened to leave me, dude, because she's like, if you don't fucking get rid of that rattlesnake, I swear to God, I'm gone. And so, and I know, like, you know, and I didn't do it for clout. I didn't put it out there on video. I might have maybe done a couple stories. I'm not gonna lie, but once I heard like that was a negative type of reaction, like people didn't like that, I was like, well, fuck it. I don't need to show it. I just love doing it. So I kind of know what you mean, man. Like dude, what a fucking adrenaline rush. Like, I'll never forget taking that thing out because I also trusted it. You know, I was like, dude, this thing is so calm. But I think I had a dream of it biting me, and that's when I got rid of it. And I was like,
it's one of those things that I condemn, and then I'm like doing it. So it's like, it's like the guys that are on steroids and say, hey, don't do steroids, it's bad for you, you know, but it's also awesome, you know. Like free handling, I can't stand it when these guys post videos of them, you know, free handling cobras and rattlesnakes and shit like that, and just being really careless and irresponsible. And someone actually told me one time, he's like, hey, it's really irresponsible of you to freehand a copperhead. And I said, that's bold of you to assume I'm a responsible human being. You know, I'm not, you know,
I'll do what I do.
I said, I tell people all the time, don't free handle, you know, and then I go out and pick up copperheads when I see them. But it's like Will came over one time, and I think I had a pygmy rattlesnake in my hand or something, and he was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "Don't ever do this." I was telling him, I was like, "Don't ever do this. This is not."
Oh, you don't have to worry about me, bro. I ain't doing that.
That's why I don't post it. You know, I don't take videos of me free handling anything, and I'm way more careful now. I always have a hook, you know, that I don't use. But I don't post it because people really shouldn't, you know, especially kids. Now herping's become kind of more mainstream. You're watching more YouTubers and TikTokers and stuff post videos of them herping, but you also want them to herp responsibly. You know, go out there and identify stuff before you pick it up. I saw this video of this girl that picked up a moccasin in South Florida, and she's like, "Is this a python?" And then she ends up on the back of an ambulance. You know, and it's just stuff like that. It's like herp responsibly, learn how to ID stuff. I'm not the best in the world at it, but you know, ask for help. You know, I'll take pictures and then ask my buddies, you know, and stuff like that. And it's just be responsible and educate yourself before you go out there.
Didn't that girl make all this content off of that? Like she talked about her medical bill. Like it was like on TikTok. I think I know what you're talking about.
Like, ended up like with $1 million like medical bill.
Yes. And she's like, look how I took care of it, or like, look how I paid for it, or something like that. And I was like, dude, that is
Vans.
Yeah, only took 1 month. Oh my God. Yeah. So all right, I want to get some ball python talking with you guys. You know, obviously there's a lot of awesome fucking things being hatched out in 2026. I can't believe we're already almost done with this year, which is pretty fucking unreal. I feel like I blink and the year's gone already.
We're only halfway through.
But we're not even halfway. 6 days from halfway.
Again, man, I could have sworn it just became 2026, man.
Oh,
maybe that just comes with having 2 kids. I don't fucking know, man. But I just know time's flying by right now. And that happens when you enjoy life. It really does. But, you know, going into 2027, Will, you just got done saying a lot of your stuff's hatching out here in July. Can you throw us some gems on what some of the things you're looking forward to the most as far as hatching out this year? Like what's on the agenda as far as some bangers you're looking forward to seeing?
As far as like projects go, it's well, okay. I mean, White Lace Puzzle would be a good one for me this year.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
We got some pretty decent shots at that. Maybe some Mandarin hypo het puzzle stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk to Bob about Mandarin. I know I'm sure he's going to say this. Lots of that stuff. DJ's Anthic Clowns. I only have 1 clutch for that. But lots of like, this year is actually more, I would say more of a, like a stacking year than it is like a visual year. I did a lot of pairings based on, like, okay, we've been making visual, we've made triples and the whole thing, and now it was time to like, all right, now we have to like
build again.
If we just keep going with the triples, it takes, you know, I need to incorporate some genes into it. So now it's time to like, you take a year where you just like, okay, let's reset and roll a bunch of new genes into these combos, and then once those males are up to size, so the following year, then it's but I mean I'm excited. There's lots of cool stuff. I've got a clutch. The second clutch of the year actually is for Hurricane Chocolate DG Clown Pieds. So don't know. We'll see what happens there. Maybe some like Hurricane Clown.
Isn't that crazy, Will? Because I don't even think Hurricane Chocolate DG Clown has been produced.
Well, I can make that too. Yeah, it could be in there too. Yeah, I know. We just skip over stuff so fast.
Yeah. Okay.
Some cool DG clowns for sure. Some cool puzzles for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's your DG puzzle game looking like this year?
Again, like I said, it's a building year. I didn't want to just make more DG puzzles.
Yeah.
You could make them and sell them for several $1,000s a piece, sure. But I focused on, obviously we want to go into the DG hypo puzzle road.
Right.
So I'm focused on like I have a clutch due to lay which should give me. I mean, obviously I need it's head to head, but it's best case scenario would be something like a Orange Dream, Yellow Belly, Red Stripe, Hurricane, Chocolate, Hypo, Double Het DG puzzle, like stuff like. Yeah, it's getting kind of crazy. So I'm super excited. Obviously, I just can't wait to start actually hatching stuff and go from there. But right now I'm just in that holding period. I know that they're hatching in next weekend, but every day I'm like. I flick the little light on. I'm like, not yet. They're not pipping. And I know they're not going to pip for a week, but I'm excited again. So
I really want the listeners to take note of what Will just said, because with the amount of years that you have under your belt, and I know Bob's the same way, there's never a time you guys stop building. Like, you don't ever get to the point where you're just making blowout visual shit and you say, fuck the ingredients. I don't need to worry about building anymore. That's just simply not the case. And I feel like what gives you guys the legs that you have in this hobby is the years that you focus on building. Would that be right? Does that sound correct?
Yeah, sure. You got to build your way to it. Right. And then once you're there, like especially with ball pythons, it's like, it's a never ending thing. So it's like, you make your first DGA Xanthic clown and you're like, okay, sure, I'd love to hatch more of them to hold back some more girls and stuff. But at the same time, like I need to get Hurricane and Confusion and all these other genes in clown, double het, DGA Xanthic, so I can, move forward with it. Because if, we look at DG clown, and if we had just kept making DG clowns for 4 years, you'd be in a pretty tough spot.
Oh yeah.
But if if you make Super Hurricane, Chocolate, whatever, Spot Nose, DG clowns, I'd be pretty interested in a snake like that.
Yeah.
100%.
So. Yeah. Oh, let's go over to the lab. Let's go to you, Steven. What's on the agenda this year as far as top production you can't wait to see, and what are you excited about?
I'm pretty excited about this year. So we got another clutch that hasn't dropped yet, but for the DG Sunset Clown, that one we could potentially make Spot Nose DG Sunset Clown. So I'm excited about that. We can do other Ultramel Sunset things. I'm hoping that we can work Bongo into it, see what Bongo Ultramel Sunset looks like.
All right.
And then those ones will also be hypo too. What else on there? Lots of building block pieces. Like I really want to do Ultramel Sunset Puzzle, Ultramel Sunset Clown things. Not as high end, but I'm really, really excited about it because they're so pretty. But we got our first shot at Super Asphalt Clown stuff.
Oh, cool.
And I'm super excited because they're so pretty. Yeah.
You'll love it for sure. Yeah. Those are that's just eye candy. And honestly, there's just not enough of them out there. So, So don't you have mahogany in the mix in some of your Super Asphalt stuff? Yeah.
Yes, and it looks so good. We got a mahogany Super Asphalt girl. She just looks so cool. I'd have to go look. We have a banana mahogany black pastel asphalt girl that I believe is going to an Inchy Gravel hypo clown male.
Wow.
I'd have to go look on that. It might be the Super Asphalt double het.
Awesome.
But yeah, overall, I'm excited about it. Again, we got a good mix of some visual things, building block things. Overall, I'm happy. I feel like last year was our first year that we like really hit our stride on growing up all our initial holdbacks. So
yeah, beautiful. All right, Bob, what do you got, man? What's on your plate? I'm curious to hear for sure.
I think I'm most excited. I kind of just shifted gears over the last 2 years with the Mandarin stuff. you know, I was listening to your podcast with Brett and them, and how people kind of slept on Mandarin because all the fake Mandarins that got sold out, right? And then some of them look normal and stuff like that. I didn't even get my first Mandarins until Tyler from Painted Scales was approached me about it, and he was like, dude, he's sending me pictures of like his Super Mandarin hypo stuff, and I'm like, whoa. I was like, can you send me the undoctored version, you know? And he,
real picture.
yeah, I want to see what it actually looks like. And he was like, no, that's what they look like. And I'm like, yeah, sure, buddy.
Yeah.
So he shows up to a show. He shows up to NARBC St. Louis, and he brings me a Mandarin hypo, Super Mandarin hypo, stuff like that. And he's bagging all this stuff, and he's showing me. And I was like, no, why have I not gotten this gene sooner? So I ended up picking up quite a few animals from him, and then I messaged him one day, and I was like, look, man, let's just partner on some of these projects. Yeah, you know, I can just buy you out some of these projects, because Tyler's real cool. He's in med school, and he don't have time to breed a lot of his stuff. So I was like, I'll breed him for you, and then I'll just split you the money 50-50. And it's worked out really well with him. And then now, and after I hatched my first Mandarins, I was hooked, man. I bought every, in my opinion, quality Mandarin animal I can find. I went over to Will's house, and he had a clutch of Mandarin hypo, had puzzles, and I'm like, nope, save that one for me. So I bought Mandarin. I have Mandarin in hypos. It's hypo with all these other stuff. So clowns, pieds, DGs, sunset. If it's Mandarin, I'm gonna mix it into everything. So within 2 years, we're with shed testing, man, you can move this so fast. This year we'll have a shot at making Mandarin hypo DG clowns. We made the Mandarin hypo sunsets. I have Mandarin DG hypo sunset stuff growing out. Yeah, I think it's really exciting because it's a new color palette that I haven't had to use before, which is like that rusty orange that we can add on top of another brown snake like sunset.
Any Super Mandarin stuff in the works?
Yeah, I'm gonna have probably 5 or 6 clutches of Super Mandarin stuff, which again, I went out and tried to buy. If I saw a Mandarin on auction, like a female with size, I probably bought it. I have probably 20 something Mandarin females that are like going to be breeding next year, or combos, and quite a few that went this year, but some of them I didn't make Super Mandarins with. Some of them I made hets. Like I had a Super Mandarin hypo female, and instead of making supers with her, I made paint hypo Mandarin combos instead.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, and I want to get your guys' take on the whole, like where you feel like Mandarin is currently at, you know, because what's that Painted Scales dude name again? Tyler. Yeah, I couldn't help but to notice there was a dude who went live about a morph market purchase he got, trying to throw this Tyler dude under the bus about him not having either legit Mandarin or not advertising the right Mandarin. And I don't know, man. I've had that guy on my show a couple times, and I've seen his work. It's second to none. It's legit. But you know, for people to avoid something like that, how do you suggest people take their pictures, or like what's your guys' take on making sure you're representing Mandarin or anything else at the best of its capability, you know, without being accused of, like, you know, trying to sell something that's not accurate, you know what I mean? Because I don't feel like it was fair that guy went through that, you know?
It's such a tricky subject, because like I can take a picture in my room, which has wicked lighting, and it's like, it's all lit up and it's bright, and that picture is literally just my hand, my cell phone, shit, that's it. Click, post on Instagram. Oh, that's doctored. No, it's not, man. Like it's not. But if I take that same photo in this room where the blinds are down and there's not good, I don't have good light, it's going to look completely different. And if you take that photo in direct sun or in shade, or it's like, Steven, I'm sure you can talk on that with like all your camera stuff. Like even just taking a picture of the camera, like I think it depends on like your aperture settings and all the, like how much flash, and like there's so many variables that go into taking a photo. And my personal take on that is Tyler like does not misrepresent his animals at all. He took a good picture and he couldn't replicate the picture. And again, I don't know all the details. I didn't really pay much attention to it, but I can tell you that I can take a picture of a snake and then bring it over to Bob's house and he takes one, and then we bring it over to your house and you take one, and we all post it, and it could look completely different in 3 different spots.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know the specific situation, so I don't want to speak on that. But in general, like, let's say, like, besides just your lighting, if you're taking a picture with your phone, phones have auto white balance. So they essentially look at your image and they're like, how orange or blue is this image? And based off of that, if it's really orange, it's going to shift it to a blue tint so that way it can balance it out. So this is fine if you're a person who's in like a really orange light, and it's going to shift it so it looks like a natural white balance. But if it's an orange snake, they do not know how to handle that. So when it puts the blue balance on there, now it looks like really dull. And I don't know on that situation, but maybe Tyler knows how to take pictures of Mandarin, and whoever took the other one is like, they just auto white balanced it. So it looked way worse. Again, I have no idea.
I'm going to speak more in the situation because I know what happened. Okay.
Sure.
So Tyler, as stand up as they get, in my opinion, in this industry, that animal was auctioned off. So the guy won it on auction. And when he responded, again, I'm not familiar with the guy. I just know Tyler, from this, and I've seen the messages between them two, and I saw what was posted. The snake was won on auction. And then his response when he received the snake was, "This is an awesome animal. Thanks. I appreciate it." The very next week, almost an identical animal went on auction and sold for way less money. So again, I understand where he's coming from to the other guy. You almost feel like you kind of got ripped off, right? Yeah. I just bought the snake, and then next week it's way less money. So inside inside of you, you feel like, man, I overpaid for this animal, and this animal should look way better than that animal because I paid more for it. So it's just a sucky situation. And then on top of the photography thing, when I go herp with 4 other guys and we find a snake, all of our pictures look different of the exact same snake. It's the same snake in the same spot. It's dark, but all of us, the way we take pictures, the settings on our phones, whatever it is going to have a totally different picture of that exact same animal. Like Will said, lighting and all this and aperture, whatever, however, and the angles, lighting, So it's just like, you ever go to the gym and you look really jacked?
No.
And then you go home and you're a fat piece of shit.
Yes, the mirrors at the gym are much better for whatever reason.
Those mirrors at the gym, the lights at the gym, the vascularity, and then I go home and I'm like, what the hell happened? Where? Yeah, So the difference of lighting and angles, and I could be standing on one side of the gym, I look really good, and I go to the other side of the gym and I don't look nearly as jacked. It's just lighting and angles, man. And sometimes it is disappointing. I've bought animals before where I got them in and I'm like, yeah, bro, what happened to the snake? And then I've also bought animals where I'm like, holy crap, this guy sucks at taking pictures because this snake is awesome. So it's just, again, we deal with animals, man, and they change. You can buy an animal and and then you on a payment plan for 60 days, it looks totally different in 60 days because they got bigger or whatever, shed twice. So yeah, that's a tricky situation where I kind of see both sides of the story. I understand it for both sides. I think the other guy is Azani maybe. And so I understand it for his side too. The animal might not have looked identical to what you bought. Well, the picture, because most of the time they're not, so it does suck that way.
Yeah. And again, there's just, a lot of different ways to take it. But again, I had to get your take because regardless, there of that situation, there was a lot of conversations going on in the hobby about people not getting real Mandarin or Mandarin being out. And then now everybody has Mandarin. People are claiming to have Mandarin, which that's a topic for other morphs too, or not even morphs, but we won't go there.
Hey, but we have shed testing.
Yeah. We have shed testing. But again, what's your take on calling something a morph without a shed test?
It's how mute is that morph? I've had ODs that barely looks OD. I've had phenomenal ODs from the same clutch. I've had Mandarins. I'll hatch a clutch of Mandarins. I've hatched probably over 100 Mandarins. I can tell you this. In the same clutch of Mandarins, there could be smoke shows. Yes. And then there could be one that tests positive. That's very mediocre. That's every single morph. Yeah. There's high variance and low variance. Could you imagine back in the day saying, well, that's not even a pied. It's only got 2% white.
Right. Yeah.
How are you calling that a pied?
There's
I
lows,
produce
mids, and highs. Yeah.
I produce low white pieds. I produce no white pieds. Then, you know, oh, how can you sell me this as a pied? Well, it came from a pied to pied pairing. Well, it doesn't have any white on it. Well, it's still genetically a pied. So a low quality mandarin is still mandarin. In my opinion, I wouldn't buy it because right now I'm trying to build my program of mandarins around the best quality of mandarins I can find.
Sure.
So sure, if it's a low quality mandarin, maybe avoid it. But then for some people, those are the bargain bin animals because guess what? Low white pieds can also produce high white pieds.
Yeah, and dude, the same fucking thing with OD. I mean, I haven't had 100 clutches of ODs, but I've had enough OD clutches where I'm like, holy shit, is this super OD? Or like, why the hell is this one so clean and that one looks like it's just a nice pastel? Like it's
Scrambler.
All right, that was great. But again,
there you go. This episode,
there's lines of everything, dude, and that's why, as a breeder, what do we hold back? The best version of whatever the fuck's in that clutch.
Yeah.
And that's just how you move in this game. So you're right, dude. I mean, just because it's not as nice as the other doesn't not make it what it is. You know what I mean? Just some things come out nicer than the others, but that's how you line breed. I mean, that's how you make sure you're breeding the best line version of what you're making, and you hold back the best stuff. Will knows all about holding back, don't you, Will?
I do, yeah.
Will, the master of holdbacks.
Will is the man of holding back for
Ain't
sure.
shit for sale.
So anything else you want to update people with about SERE, dude? Anything we didn't cover, Bob? Any announcements? Or
we're taking on a new sponsor. They have some program where you can kind of I think waitlist people or something. If you guys want to talk about that.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. I want to hear about this, please.
You want to take it, Will?
Or
Will? Yeah, I can kind of give you like the rundown on what it is. It's called Day 56, and this all started. Steven stayed at my place before one of the podcast things, and we stayed up way too late just talking about the industry. Right. And we had both been in sales jobs. And so we started talking about like CRMs, and we were like, that's something that we don't have in the reptile industry. We don't have a customer relationship management program. And if you do have one, it's not tailored to your business unless I don't know what you would do to get one that is. So we started like just trying to build it ourselves. We were like, okay, it'd be so cool if I could because one of the big problems that I always had was someone would message me, let's say today, and they say, hey man, I want a white lace puzzle. And I'm like, oh, cool. She's ovulated, but she's still 3-4 months before we see the babies.
Right.
And then someone next week is like, hey, I want a lace puzzle. I'm like, hey, I want white lace het puzzle. Okay, cool. But I can't, like, once I have it, I'm trying to go back through Instagram messages and back through Facebook, man. Who was it? And man, and I just give up and I post it on MORPHMARKET. And somebody buys it, and then I always catch flack because, hey, you told me you'd let me know. And I've lost friendships over this, like over this type of thing.
Right.
And so we were like, well, what if we could make a program where you get a link, and when you can either link your incubator, so people can subscribe to your clutches. You can link their morph interest. So somebody says to you, hey, I'm interested in a super asphalt clown. Okay, cool. Just go to this. You send them your link. They put in their name, their email. I'm interested in super asphalt and clown. And it adds them to your customer list. So you have their name, their email, and the morph interest. From there, you can go into, there's an email manager inside the thing, and you can filter by, I'm sending out an email based on clowns, or I'm sending out an email based on this clutch has just hatched. I'm going to send it to the people who have subscribed to that clutch. You can tag your Patreon members in there and just like auto tag, click Patreon, bang, there's everybody in the Patreon. You can click Patreon clown, bang, there's everyone in the Patreon that wanted clowns. It just goes on and on and on and on. So we ended up building this with the help of another buddy, Tyler, and actually Daniel as well.
Chicken.
Sorry. I keep
Jacob,
thinking mandarins.
Jacob.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Jacob. It's Jacob, not Tyler. Tyler had nothing to do with this. Tyler's got wicked mandarins, but he didn't do anything with this. So we had Jacob and Daniel, and they both are like IT guys, very techie. Steven and I were trying to do this I mean,
Not
we had good
good, but we were
intentions, man,
like-
but we were having a hard time with this. So we showed them and they were like, boys, let us take it from here. This is a good idea. Let us run with it.
Awesome.
And then they built all this out. And yeah, Steven, you got anything else you want to add? Like, I mean, that's
Pretty awesome.
Oh, there's so many like cool features, and I don't know what all like we can talk about because we're still testing stuff.
Oh,
'cause
we
we
can-
want it to like iron out. But yeah, the core of it is that CRM thing. And one of our things, besides like organizing our customers, Morph Market is the bedrock of online ball python sales.
Yeah.
One of the challenges though is because it's so effective, everybody's posting your animals on there. So if we post a clutch and it goes up on Morph Market today,
just gets
within a day, it gets buried by everybody else who posted their animals because everybody knows how good Morph Market is. So this lets us ensure that anybody that we have email addresses for that have said that they're interested in a project, they're at least going to get it in their inbox. And we'll still link them to our Morph Market account. So they're still going to Morph Market and looking at those animals there and inquiring there. But that's the other thing I like that's really cool is it's open to anywhere. You can send them to Morph Market. We use it to send people to our YouTube videos. We can send them to our Patreon. Send them to OnlyFans if you wanted. It really doesn't matter. And I stole that joke from Will, by the way. That's one of Will's jokes. So
you could,
Go ahead, Will.
the other cool thing about this is that you can disable, like if you want to, like let's say for you MJ, you're working with chondros mostly, right? So you can disable the morphs right off of your sign up page, and you could just put your chondro clutches. So you could put like whatever Cyclops to whatever the Cyclops to Biak and whatever,
sure.
And people could go to that and be like, oh, you have a Cyclops to Biak clutch incubating. I want to be notified when this hatches. And it will just tag that person with that clutch ID. And then when you hatch that clutch, you just click on that clutch ID, brings up a whole list of everybody, and you can one button email all. And inside the email builder, we have AI that can build your templates for you.
I can share my screen on it because I have some.
Why don't you do that?
Sure, yeah. So you can go right into the email builder because like I'm not good at like building out like email templates and where does the logo go and all that sort of thing. So you can just go right into the email builder and be like, talk to the AI on the side there. Oh no.
Yep. I'll do the AI.
You can just type to the AI like, hey, I'm sending out an email for a new clutch that's hatched. Can you please build me a template? And it'll just like bang, instantly builds out a template. It takes about 15 seconds because it has to think. But yeah, there's a lot of AI incorporated into this. It's
pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool. So it's thinking, what did you put? A monthly newsletter featuring my latest available animals. Okay, cool. And now it's thinking right, bang, there it goes.
And then you can just adjust it to your own color, your own brand's color.
Whatever you want to do basically from there.
If you go back into that and say match it to my brand's colors, it will.
Oh yeah.
It'll like it's like, dude, it's actually crazy the stuff that
AI is pretty freaky. Yeah, it's
scary, man. There's some features coming out. Like we haven't even like fully launched this yet. We've just shown it to a handful of people.
Do you want me to demo?
There's some the AI voice thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we can. I wouldn't yet, but you can just explain it. But basically, we are building out like a breeding software in there, and you are now able to have your phone or your computer in the room, and while you're ultrasounding, just be like, "Hey, RCR 210304 is at 22 millimeters," and you just talk to it. Bing, goes right onto her file. It's instant. Hey, I just paired these two animals. Boom, notes in your file.
And again, so people who are waiting for that get updated as well, or they can
set it to
look at it. Yeah, you could set it to that.
So you can do these automations in here where you can set up whatever you want on them, but it can be things like when someone joins the wait list, a few days after they sign up, on a repeating schedule, when a new animal or clutch matches a customer, so that way it's automatically sending out emails, and you don't even have to go in and manually send the emails.
Yeah, it just automatically lets them know, hey, an animal's available. And when they respond to you to that email, it goes directly to like your traptalkexotics@gmail.com. We're not trying to manage the sale. We're not trying to do any of that stuff. It takes you to your own spot. In the email, you can push them to, hey, here's all my clowns available on Morph Market. When they click that button, it brings them to your page, pre-filtered with your clowns, not just the clowns on Morph Market, but your clowns on Morph Market.
This just helps simplify things for people as far as organizing potential sales, people who already bought from you but want more. This is insane. This is crazy.
You can build lists based on like, hey, these are the people who have bought XYZ chondro from me. I should probably offer them first dibs on the next clutch or whatever. You can send them an email first before the clutch even hatches, like right as the clutch is pipping. Whatever, however you want to manage your business, you do it. But I think a lot of people right now, their current solution to selling snakes, maybe not for you chondro guys, because that's a whole different thing, but for ball pythons, the current solution to selling snakes for a lot of people is hatch snakes, put on MORPHMARKET, and then wait. And cross your fingers that, hey, someone will message me. And then when they don't, lower the price. So you get to this point where you're just like, we're all racing to the bottom and we're auctioning off good animals that shouldn't be selling for that kind of, like stuff. There's some stuff on auction that if you just sent an email to the right person, there's a way higher conversion rate on that than there is on just like throw it on auction and hope that the right person sees it and values it.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I'm go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that aspect right there, again, one of the biggest benefits that MORPHMARKET has is that they're able to get this massive customer base from all over the world onto their website, and then breeders benefit from that because they're bringing the customers to them. And while obviously really excited about day 56, you do have to build your own customer list. You're not like, your data isn't getting shared with everybody else, but you're also not getting access to everybody else's data either. So you have to be able to build your own customer list. And if you don't do the job of actually like getting that person to fill out your form or taking their email address and you putting it in yourself, you're not going to get the real true benefits out of the CRM side. You still need to do work. It's a tool to help you do work.
Right. This is also an awesome thing that I think would be awesome for people at shows.
Oh my God,
because if something like, how many times at a show does someone walk up and go like, oh man, that banana pied, that's so pretty. I'm just not ready to get a snake white yet, maybe in a couple months. But if you took down their info and that they were interested in banana pieds, and then in a couple months sent them an email, hey, I know we talked at a show, blah, blah, and you could filter it by show contacts, show contacts, banana pieds. Okay, cool. These are the people that talk to me at shows about banana pieds, and send an email saying like, hey, I know we talked at a show recently. Hope everything's well. Just wanted to let you know you love the banana pieds, but weren't quite ready then. Just letting you know we hatched a new clutch of banana pieds. If that's something you're interested in, would love to communicate further. Just that alone can convert so many sales that I think are being just, I mean, hey, if people want to keep just put them on MORPHMARKET, be my guest. But once we started using this, what we started seeing from it was like, oh shit, hang on a second, this is doing something.
Yeah, I mean, I have a strong sales background. I know Bob does too, and so being organized only helps sales more. I can tell you that right now. And this type of organization, I mean, first and foremost, this is what the hobby needs, 1,000%, because it's not like a clutch, it's not like a MORPHMARKET, it's a CRM. So this organized and keeps your customers all informed, but then also you're not forgetting. You know what I mean? Correct. It's like a win-win. Like your customers are being able to keep tabs, but you as a seller could keep tabs, you know? Because I mean, I don't know, Bob, you probably sell more than any of us on the screen. You can't really always keep track of shit without being organized. Like you have to have something, right? You would say.
Dude, I am absolutely the worst at waitlisting people, because I'll say, yeah, sure, bro, I'll put you on a wait list and I will sell that snake the minute
it's a mental wait list, right? Yeah, you just forget. And you can't keep track of that many people. But if you're able to just click, so I hatch a Hurricane DG Clown, 15 people in the last year have asked me about that. And I click on that tab. Oh, there they are. Well, why don't I email them first? Maybe they've already bought one. Maybe they found one. That's fine. But it's a great place to start.
Yeah. One thing, I don't want to dive into the customers so much because they are like real people's like data and all that stuff. But on your animals, you can bring in your animals, and then based off of your customer list, it will match the morphs of the animal to the morphs that people say they're interested in. It'll show you here like 51 matches, 53 matches. I don't want to click on it because it will bring up the whole list of the people. Right. But again, that way you are also able to kind of like see, even if they haven't signed up for that specific animal, it's like, oh, here's how many people are interested in this project.
You can
Well,
also,
Good.
I was gonna say at the top, see how he's built out Sunset Puzzle, Ultra Sun, Hypo Sunset Puzzle. So you can also build those out on your screen, and then in the drop down, you can turn the genes off, and people can subscribe to projects. So instead of being like, I want clown and asphalt, they can say like, I want super asphalt clown, and they subscribe to that project, and they'll be notified about anything in that project.
Steven, for anyone out there wondering, how is their information protected? Like how do they know, like, you know, anyone else can't see who their customers are, or like poaching and stuff like that? Because I know people are already thinking of that. So how is this information protected?
So Jacob has all of the like actual like technical details because he has like a whole data governance packet and like different levels of encryption. I don't know the details, so I don't want to talk about it and make myself look like an idiot, but in general, we are really like that data security is a really important thing for us, because realistically, if Bob has customers that are trying to buy animals in, let's say, Japan, he doesn't want anybody else knowing about that, and or getting those leads and then trying to undercut him and all that stuff. So if we are going to share information, there's this section here called leads. So let's say that somebody reaches out to me saying, I'm looking for example, Monarch is what this example was when we were doing a demo for somebody. I can then say like, well, we don't have any Monarch, but the Harbins do. So I'm going to refer you to the Harbins. Before the Harbins even get this lead saying that they're looking for Monarch stuff, the customer whose the data it is, they get an email saying like, hey, Steven doesn't have any Monarchs. He's recommending the Harbins to you. Do you consent for your data to be shared with them? So it's like stuff like that. Like it won't even let you like, I mean, technically anybody could just go call somebody else. But in the system, we want to do everything we can that the data is only shared between breeders if the customer agrees to it. There is no way for Will or myself or anybody else, except for technically Jacob, because Jacob's on the back end and he could go in. Nobody else has access to anybody else's stuff.
But that would be like every other website in the world where there is a back end where it's storing data, right? Like technically, MORPHMARKET, I'm sure, could go in and look at your credit card information, but like obviously, So. But that data is on the back end, and we asked Jacob like how it's all formatted and stuff, and it's all like entry 1, entry 2, entry 3, entry 4. So it's not even like the name, and so we were like
anonymized.
You look at the screen, and I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at.
So Steven, how much is this?
So it's the core features, which is storing as many customers as you want, organizing them, and sending the pre-built emails, which are just like templates. That's free. Anybody can sign up for it, no cost. And then in order to help support the platform, because it does take money, it takes money to run the servers, it takes money to keep up with everything, pay for the AI credits and tokens that we're using to like be the engine behind a lot of these features. It is $9.99 a month, but you can try the first month for 99 cents. So if you want to try out the pro features and see like, do the customized email templates and the customized landing pages and like all of these other, like the AI features, is it worth it for $10 a month? You can try it for $1. And if you don't like it, completely fine, cancel it. Again, it's trying to help us pay for the platform. We're not trying to make a ton of money off of it.
There's no contract associated. If you don't feel it, you could cancel it anytime, basically.
Cancel it, yeah.
And then when will this be launching? When can the public or whoever wants to sign up, how's that going to work?
I think they can go right now. Yeah.
Officially, though,
we're looking at SERE as the official launch, but anybody could go to the website right now, day56.com.
Wait. So Trap Talk's the pre-launch?
Yeah, this is actually the first time we've publicly talked about it.
Go to day56.com right now, dude. Put promo code Trap Talk for rep reason. I want a free SERE shirt. That's it. We'll be good.
Yeah, use promo code Trap Talk. You get your first month for 99 cents.
Yeah. If you click on that little bubble also down on the bottom right, if you're in the site and you don't really know what's going on, that you have to go turn it back on. Yeah, I do that too. We might have to change that because I always close it too. But it's a little AI chat box that will pop up, and you can just say like, how do I add an animal? And it'll just like walk you through, this is how you do it. This is how so there's AI built into the site for
Will makes it sound real cool, but it's actually Jacob sitting there on his computer.
Could you imagine? That'd be so funny. Yeah.
But that's so neat. So I mean, again, because I hate putting stuff together. But if I could have a place to ask questions on how to put it together or give me instructions, that changes everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just trying to make it easier for people. And we're gonna do some probably some YouTube videos on like how to use it.
Good stream.
And but it's pretty straightforward. We wanted to keep it simple and just make something that worked.
Could this possibly in the future integrate with Clutch even too, with all the stuff people have with Clutch and stuff like that, and like
possibly one thing that we are trying to avoid is making it any one program specific. We don't want like it to be like Clutch and then Husbandry Pro people can't use it or more.
Oh yeah, you want to.
So we want it. We want them to be able to send their customers wherever they want them to go.
Okay, that makes sense.
Be pigeonholed by any one platform.
So you're not trying to white glove anybody.
No.
Okay.
No. The only one that we could possibly consider, I would think, would be like a MORPHMARKET type thing where it like ties in somehow and it would just all mesh. But those are yeah. We'll see how that all works out.
Well, that's fucking exciting, boys. This podcast was great, man. It was awesome. So much to look forward to in the 2026 and 2027 season. Anything you guys want to close off with? Any closing statements? You guys have the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a quick announcement. The Bob's Ball Shed Patreon is no longer going to be around. It was shut down in 6 days. Well, I guess whenever this episode, basically the end of June, it will shut down. And if you would like to continue to become up or as a Patreon member or like to join as a Patreon member, the new Patreon is Bob's_balls. Apparently Bob's Balls is already taken. And we will continue the Patreon. The only difference is that Josh from Ball Python Shed is no longer going to be a host. He will be basically at the mentor level in the Discord, but he was no longer going to be hosting. So basically all the money that you will spend into the Patreon, instead of getting divided between me and Josh, all of that will go towards credit towards me, So let's say you spend $100 a month on Patreon, you will then have $1,200 by the end of the year or whatever, or in 12 months to spend with me. You can spend it on snakes, you can spend it on tables at the show, you can spend it on merch, OnlyFans, whatever you want to do that I have available, you can use it there. So yeah, that's the new Patreon that we just launched. So go to Patreon and then do that. We're doing one big giveaway and then a few smaller giveaway trips for next year. The big giveaway is most likely going to be the Japan trip. I have to confirm, that I'm going to be going first. And usually I do that by November-ish or right after Tinley. But if I go to Japan, then I'm going to be taking a Patreon member with us and we'll, cover your flight and all that. But it could be Mexico. It could be wherever we decide to do the next show, and we'll be taking a Patreon member with us. So that's going to be one of the giveaways. And then we give away $500 in credit every month. So that's
all right. Exciting. Will, anything you want to close off with?
Go check out his Patreon. And see you guys at SERE.
Yeah. Cool. Steven.
Yeah, check out Bob's Patreon. And thank you so much for having us on. We really appreciate it. And yeah,
man, it was fun.
Hey, you guys are always welcome here, man. No invite needed, even though I have to invite you, but still, you know what I mean.
Send the link, dude.
Yeah, that's all you need is the link. And again, real quick, guys, one thing I'm doing Thursday nights, I don't do live anymore. So this will only be released on my Patreon, but also all three of your guys' Patreon as well. So if you guys want to hear this before anyone else, join either mine, Bob's, Will's, or Steven's Patreon for that exclusive content. All right. But God damn it, man, SERE is right around the corner. I cannot wait for some fun in Georgia. But for now, guys, Leviathan Snakes, RCR, and Bob's Balls 2 on IG. Go give them a follow. Find all the links in the description below. But give it up. It's a wrap for Steven, Bob, and Will, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Later, guys. Appreciate it, man. That was a good time.
All right, man. Have a good night. I'll see you guys later, okay? Awesome. Peace. All right, guys, that's all we have on this episode. Really appreciate your time. Really exciting news, obviously, coming from all three of those guys. I mean, definitely, man. What better individuals do you want in the ball python game, right? I'm telling you right now, stand up, guys. I'm excited to go to SERE. If you're going to SERE, drop a comment in the comment section. Let's link up. I'm telling you, it's going to be great. I'll be there in attendance. Be doing some episodes with some people, be vlogging, be hanging out with some of the best people, and that's a fact, man. But yes, thank you again for all the love and support. I want to say shout out to one of the sponsors, Southeast Reptile Expo, happening August 1st and 2nd, okay? Duluth, Georgia at the Gas South Convention Center. Go to southeastreptileexpo.com for your tickets. And yeah, look out for other ads, other promotions. Let your people know, man, it's one of the best shows happening in the game right now for a fact. But that's all we have on this episode. Episode 790 in the books. Quick word from our sponsors. I'll see you next time, and I'm out. Cheers. Sorry for the interruption, folks, but a quick word from our sponsors. Shout out to tonight's sponsor brought to you by ZoomEd.
ZoomEd is proud to be supporting the Trap Talk Reptile Network. At ZoomEd, reptiles are our passion. For over 48 years, we've been creating premium foods, supplies, and habitats for reptiles and other exotic animals. We're a company made up of hobbyists that test our products on the hundreds of animals that we care for here every single day. Whether you're an established breeder or a first-time hobbyist picking up your first ball python, ZoomEd has you covered with everything you need to keep your animals happy and healthy.
I'm excited to talk about this new product with ZoomEd called the Slither Sense. It is a remote temperature and humidifying monitoring system, which we all know how important temperature and humidity is to your reptile. And for you to have remote access to your temperature and your humidity in your reptile room could really, really be a game changer for the longevity of you keeping reptiles. So guys, make sure you check out that product. Find the link in the description below. Click on it right now. Give me your feedback in the comments below. Let me know how you're liking a brand new ZoomEd product. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Mark Bailey Reptiles, my mentor and definitely my favorite ball python breeder we have today. 40 plus years, full-time reptile keeper. He's just been a huge inspiration ever since I met him. And also, if you really want to see what his work is all about, you could just simply go to morphmarket.com, type in Mark Bailey Reptiles, give him a follow. And anybody who has gotten a snake from Mark Bailey Reptiles have been super happy, and that's going for 40 plus years. So very honored and very happy to not only call Mark Bailey Reptiles a friend of mine, but also a sponsor of tonight's show. Definitely appreciate your support, Mark Bailey. Definitely look up to everything that you do. Shout out to Mark Bailey over at Mark Bailey Reptiles. Shout out to tonight's sponsor, and that is Clutch, the #1 organization app in the ball python game today. Also, tonight's episode is brought to you by KINOVA Reptiles, the biggest world industry leading ball python company in the hobby, in the industry. So excited to announce this partnership with Clutch and KINOVA Reptiles. No name that needs an introduction. As you guys already know, if you're looking to invest with the best, KINOVA Reptiles is the way to go. And again, if you want to be organized, if you want to be ahead of the game, there's no better organization app in the ball python game than Clutch. Thank you so much to the entire Clutch team. Thank you so much, KINOVA and the entire KINOVA Reptile team. Please continue to keep doing what you're doing. Nothing but inspiration, nothing but excitement coming from KINOVA Reptiles and Clutch. And I'm excited to have more information to announce to you guys here in 2026. Thank you so much, Clutch and KINOVA Reptiles. Shout out to tonight's sponsor, and that's the one and only Morph Market and Morph Market Shipping. One of the biggest exciting things about the reptile hobby over the past couple years is Morph Market Shipping taking everything to the next level. Anything as far as reptile purchasing or selling needs can all be done on Morph Market's website. So I highly suggest you go check it out, especially if you're in the market of purchasing your first, second, or third, or fourth reptile. You can find a bunch of legitimate breeders on Morph Market's platforms. They stand very tall on representing the best breeders we have in the hobby. So don't look anywhere else when it comes to looking for your new reptile. Not to mention, if you're looking for aquatics or your next plant, Morph Market's a spot for you as well. Make sure you head over to morphmarket.com. And the best thing about Morph Market's platform, you could ship directly from their website with Morph Market Shipping. Morph Market Shipping has saved this hobby billions of dollars as a whole. I myself saved thousands with Morph Market Shipping last year due to their insanely cheap rates. So definitely go take advantage of these rates on top of the amazing customer service that comes along with Morph Market Shipping. Shout out to Darian and Zach, and shout out to the entire Morph Market team. So proud to be a part of this team. Thank you so much for Morph Market Shipping and Morph Market, and so excited to announce new Morph Market features that are going to be hitting the reptile hobby real soon, like live sales on Morph Market. Thank you so much, Morph Market and Morph Market Shipping. Thank you for all the fellow support. Thank you so much for anyone who watches the Trap Talk Reptile Network. Hit that like button. If you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, you'll be notified of every new episode dropping here out of the network 7 days a week. And also by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, it pushes this network out to other new keepers coming into the hobby. So by you doing that, it does more than you think. So thank you so much again for all the support. And if you're not already a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. We're doing big things over here, and we really appreciate it.